This content is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back.
We're
Contemplated
live.
being really gross and burping.
Right.
I suddenly had to.
I do all the time.
And then I
anyways.
was like, no, let's not obnoxiously burp first thing.
Stream is the place to do such things.
Yep.
Stream
Stream
is
is
I'm
where
a
my
little more
inhibitions go to
ladylike
die.
than that, right?
Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Pokemon
Dunda.
D&D Wundoro Adventure. Today's another Monday at night. Although by the time you see this, it'll probably be Wednesday.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody out there who's been watching on the YouTube archives.
Catching up.
Yeah, many thanks for all the comments, the likes, and
Yes.
all your passionate pleas. We will try to stay alive by all means necessary.
Oh God. Well, we'll see about that.
I don't intend to die.
Yet.
I mean, I won't speak for Jackson, though.
I don't intend to die. He's just old and has whatever the opposite of a metric fuck ton is of hit points.
No, that's Brooke. Brooke has a metric fuck
No, that's what
ton.
I'm saying. He has whatever the opposite of a metric fuck ton is.
I know.
Metric fuck less?
Brooke legitimately has more
I mean,
hit
he
points
is also
than
72
her
and his wife is dead, so yeah.
So, yeah, anybody else out there who's watching, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you're watching it on. Let us know what you think.
Yep.
We much enjoy this. And I guess to anybody who's out there who's been watching for any length of time, I'm super curious. We pick up a few new steady viewers, I suppose, every single episode, and I'd be very interested in hearing how you guys are finding out about us.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
And if you guys are at all interested in joining the Twitch live streams, we do every other Monday.
Yeah, we will try to make that a little more evident.
Both
but
of you
we'd
just
love
need to
have you
wait a couple years, and then all my children that are slowly leaving my program that I said once they leave, I will tell them, and they can ask their parents. And suddenly you get a whole bunch more subscribers, although where those came from.
Yeah.
there.
And then get to watch me play Doom and swear at demons.
I think they just want to watch
Definitely
our
not Nightmare
Pokemon
Fury. Yeah,
D&D. But who knows?
But I mean, a few of them probably would tune in for other stuff as well.
There are probably a couple of them that would.
Thank you out there to Joe the DM on Twitter for the Pokemon D&D system that we are using. It's a wonderful homebrew. You can find out more about that at www.pokemon5e.com. Thank you to Kevin McLeod
believe I
for
still have
what you're
open.
hearing right now, as well as a few of the other tunes that have been playing. That is at incompetech.com. Mikkel_beats also on Twitter for the Poke and Chill soundtrack. And thank you to the Lighter Arts for the player tokens that we will be using.
Heck
They're
yeah.
wonderful, and I love your art. Good work. Anything else, guys?
No,
Now that
not I
I've
can
done
think
my
of.
commission, I'm seriously considering doing fan art for our own channel.
Yeah.
You could, you might as well.
I mean, that's an open invitation to anybody who wants to send in some art.
Yep. We've still only gotten, I think, one piece.
One Piece, and it had nothing to do with my One Piece.
Yeah. It had to do with our Fire Red Nuzlocke. With spoon, 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 spoon.
Oh, yeah.
Almost anything, and I do preference that with almost anything that you send in, we will almost maybe show on the...
Yep.
We'll show it on the
Almost
stream.
maybe.
Yeah. We'll probably review stuff beforehand. Cause,
Regardless of
just,
how egregious it is, we'll throw it up there.
Well, because, I mean, that's setting a dangerous precedent. If someone just sends in a
Yeah.
dick pic, it's like, oh, let's not vet these at all before we go on stream and show a dick on Twitch. It's the easiest way to get a permaban.
Yeah.
All right, without any further ado, actually, I want to start like this. So you guys have both done the last couple of recaps.
Yourself.
Let's do it like
Oh, I shouldn't have said your name.
this.
He's looking over like, ooh, you called?
Hello,
I can't actually see his head.
Jackson. The last thing you remember, a tumultuous journey through some underwater caverns, a dangerous slip and slide filled with lava, falling rocks, dangerous cliffs, and a veritable sea monster. You remember Brooke's Pokemon, Sassy, by your side. You remember almost falling to your death You remember your shoes burning off the bottom of your feet.
My
You
Badoo
remember
shoes.
your Badoo shoes. You remember meeting back up with Brook. And you remember fighting the creature that had stolen Slowpoke.
The melodic.
You remember a small trove of treasure and the Slowpoke agreeing to come with you before being whisked away down another tunnel, and then everything very quickly going black.
Yeah.
You imagine yourself in a watery grave. But as your eyes open, you hear lounge music? No, just cool jazz. You feel a slight mist over your face, but not the mist of a lake or the rain that you remember pounding on its surface. Like some sort of irrigation system. Your eyes see dull, harsh, synthetic lights, and everything starts to come into focus. Leaves fanning over top of your head, and then behind that, glass panes and the soft rumble of distant rain pounding on the ceiling. You see 4 or 5 figures around you. 2 girls who are in dirty aprons, who are looking at you a little curiously,
Who I would
concernedly.
recognize, I'm assuming.
You see a very large man, ready beard, an axe slung over his shoulder, and he's smiling down at you. You see Brook standing there as well. And you turn to see another old codger, kind of like yourself, in much more ragged attire, who seems to be cursing or mumbling. You can't really make out what he's saying.
I don't know if he has more ragged attire than me, considering I'm wearing literally a stuffed animal.
That's a
A
good point.
stuffed Badoo for shoes. I've just gotten burnt.
Badoo shoes. And it all comes crashing back to you. That being said, you probably don't entirely know where you are right now, although maybe you could put 2 and 2 together. The smiling giant over top of you says, "Hello there."
Morning. I
no,
think-
it's
I
actually
think
evening.
it's still night.
Okay. Hi.
How you doing, Jackson?
Been better, but I've also been worse. So, all things considered, not bad. I'm alive.
That's definitely positive.
Well, you're not coughing up water anymore, so that's good.
Good.
And if it weren't for Guy, I just forget his name.
Guy.
Okay, it was right. And if it weren't for Guy here,
If
I
it weren't for this guy.
probably would have had to drag you all the way back to shore. So, thanks again, Guy.
He just waves. It's all right. I get calls every now and then. You wouldn't believe how many people get stranded in the middle of the lake and need a way out.
You mean this happens somewhat often?
Well, you know, tourists and all.
Fair. I'd make an argument, but it's literally me, so.
He frowns a little bit and he says, I hope you didn't go running out looking for trouble after our last fight.
I wouldn't say looking for trouble.
Yeah, that's not exactly how it happened, but I mean, it was technically right after.
We were looking to do a couple more just Pokemon battles to get a little more experience.
But
Then we ended
wanted
up
to
seeing
fight
the Slowpoke just get pulled into the water, and
and it
we
just
felt
looked
like
so
we
scared.
felt like we had to go after it.
Yeah.
And then we did, and we got him, and he's okay. She's okay.
That is good.
It was just so sad. Like it was hope for a minute, and then just terror, and we had to do something.
Well, you are currently my guest in the Serene City Pokemon Gym. We have you laid in our employee room. And he kind of waves around. He says, would you like a coffee or maybe some fresh Rosalia leaf tea.
I would love to
Tea
try
would
the
be
Rosalia.
Lovely.
Very nice. And he sort of waves over at one of the little girls, and she wanders over to what is a very small sort of kitchen area. She starts leafing through a tin can and pouring some hot water from a kettle that was on. And he takes the cup from her and hands it towards you, and he says, "It is our specialty here. Unfortunately, the Roserade tea is currently all out. Very popular throughout the world."
I could imagine. How does this tea smell?
It's fragrant.
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 It's
Very
very
fragrant.
fragrant.
Two streams in a row.
Is it really?
I think
Have you
yeah,
done that?
I think last stream there was another one of those too that we were
You know,
talking
and I
about.
can't do that voice intentionally.
Yeah.
Very flowery.
4 score.
4 score. 7. It's very fragrant. And
Yeah, very fragrant.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the Roserade tea.
You do have a canister of it.
Depending on how much good of shape it's in after, you know,
Just
all of this time underwater.
I mean, I guess the petals would be a little wet. Most of your stuff would be a bit wet.
But is it
Depending
in
on
a
how sealed the canister
jar,
is and how,
or
like,
is
if it's plastic
it-
sealed or something.
It would be in a tin canister. Think of like the stuff that you'd clean out of your grandparents' house where it's embossed, lovingly sort of painted and decorated. You can see this little woman who seems to be made entirely of flower petals and leaves, striking a pose. Beautiful. Similar to the one that's on the counter. The one on the counter seems to be a little less decorated, but similar.
Perfect. And sorry, what is the tea? What is it like? As I take a sippy sip.
Well, considering I'm not a big fan of tea, it tastes like hot water. No, it's bold, but not in a sweet way and not in a fruity way.
In like a floral sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that.
I've actually had, like, when I was in Britain, we had this, like, not to go on a tangent just for a second. It's like a lavender chocolate where it had, like, bits of lavender in it, and it actually was super good. And I had a rose one, too, and that was actually really good,
I'm
too.
not a fan of, like, teas that are really flowery and, like,
I don't
feel like I'm
mind them.
drinking weird perfume.
I don't mind them if they have something else to them. Like, the chocolate really worked well because you just had, like, a sort of bitter, flowery aftertaste after the super sweetness of the
Right.
chocolate.
Sure.
Anyways.
You'll notice
Tea
that there
tangent.
is a stick of some sort of hardened yellow liquid that is quickly dissolving. That the guy was stirring as he hands it to you.
Thank you. This smells delicious.
He smiles. He says, "My pleasure. Feel free to stay as long as you'd like. Unfortunately, I have some other things I need to attend to, but the girls will see to anything you may need."
Just more of a meta question. Did our Pokemon get taken by the girls to heal, or is that something we have to go to the Pokemon Center for?
No, nobody's taking the Pokemon.
Yeah.
They've literally picked up Jackson and led you in to this room.
And he happened to be just on the verge of coming back to consciousness anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with all that said, am I lying on a bed right now?
You're lying on what would be a couch.
Or a bench? Or, yeah.
This is an employee room, an employee sort of rest room. So it's got a small coffee table, a couple magazines on the table, Gardener's Daily, and Horticulturist Delight. There's a small kitchenette and a sofa that you're taking up the entirety of. Lots of puddles. You imagine you just dragged all this in. And a smattering of dirt on the ground. You can see many dirty footprints that sort of weave around the room.
Okay. I will get up and sit up on the couch and then take a second to steady myself and stand up because I'm just coming back to consciousness from nearly fucking drowning after a very long day.
I helped Jackson to his feet.
Both of you are still pretty drenched at this point in time.
Probably.
Yep. I still have my cane, right? Or is that long gone?
We gotta get Jackson
I
a
assume you had your
cane
cane.
and shoes. How did he hold on to it when he fell unconscious? Did it just float and I just grabbed it? And just didn't
It
say
would.
anything?
It's
Okay.
not very dense. It goes up.
Perfect. We'll go with that.
One of the girls goes
We're
and
calling
grabs
out
one
of
of
the
the
water.
little tea towels that's hanging off the counter, and she tries to imagine who to hand it to first and hands it to you. It's definitely not a towel, but it's like this big, and you can probably dry your face with it.
Perfect. I will take the towel in the left hand and then reach to the right hand out for Guy to say thank you for helping me.
Sure. He was turning to leave, and when you held out your hand, he turns and he holds out his massive hand and just engulfs yours, but he doesn't squeeze. It's very gentle, almost limp. And he smiles and he says, "Feel better. I'm sure we will meet again soon."
I'm already feeling better. The tea's working wonders. Thank you.
Tea always is nice to warm up your body after a cold swim.
Yep.
He shakes once and he turns and he walks out of the room.
Thank you, Brooke.
I mean, honestly, if it weren't for Guy, it would have been a long swim back. And if you hadn't been in the state that you were when Guy pulled you out, I'm scared that your condition would have changed swimming. So I'm thankful Guy was there.
Same.
Would have been a long swim back.
Pneumonia is no laughing matter.
Not to mention, after everything we went through, a pretty big toll on my body.
Yep.
Be thankful if it got us both back safely to begin with.
Yep. Hell of a swim, apparently.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that we swam out that far to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I guess we did have Pokemon pulling us. Well, I had a Pokemon pulling me, so that helped.
How's the Slowpoke?
Let's find out, and I'll pop Slowpoke out.
Okay.
Pop out Angela.
The two little girls look very excitedly on as this large Pokemon appears before them. I say large, but it's large in comparison to some of the smaller ones that have been around here.
Grumpy because she couldn't catch shit, and the one time she fucking catches something, it catches her instead.
This large, about the size of a large dog,
Opposite of Jackson.
long, thick, large, dopey face, kind of looks around and yawns.
Did you say her name?
I don't think in character, no. I don't think yet.
I get down and I kneel next to her and I scritch behind both of her ears and I go, "I'm so glad to see that you're okay."
She looks at you and she kind of frowns a little.
I'm gonna give her some scritches too.
Under your touch, she almost melts. Or you're not sure if she's just going to sleep. Her legs just kind of spread out from under her, and she slinks right onto the ground where she was.
She's doing herself a sploot.
You know, I think Jackson and I have plans to go to a city on some water, and we can try this fishing thing again all together.
Maybe we can do it on the coast, by the sea. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Her eyes follow both of you. It sounds like she's chewing on something. It could just be her own tongue.
Get you one of those, what was it called? The shell something?
Shelter?
Yeah, we'll get you one of those.
One of the little girls walks over and she kneels down next to Slowpoke's tail. The redness still sort of present there. And she goes, "Oh, it's hurt."
You know.
Yeah, it got dragged under the water by a much larger Pokemon.
Beautiful Pokemon, but
Yep. Gorgeous.
very
Scary. Gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah.
She laughs. It was probably after Slowpoke's sweet tail.
Probably.
Is that a thing?
Oh, yes. They say Slowpokes, they secrete a sweet oil from the tips of their tail.
I
helped them
legitimately just thought you were implying that her tail maybe tasted good.
No, well, I'm sure it does. She fixes her hair a little bit. She says, yeah, but I mean, in some regions, it's quite the delicacy, actually.
Oh.
You will never be my delicacy, Angela. I'm gonna give her some pets.
She lazily rolls over.
So cute, and I just like scritch her belly and like flop on top of her.
She does nothing to stop you.
Is she
and
a
it's
medium
big.
creature?
No, she's
still
still
small.
only
Okay.
small. But in terms of like
just
she
very
stands like
rotund.
3 foot
Yeah.
tall.
She's
and 3
almost
foot
as heavy
long
as
before
Billy.
The tail. Yeah. There's a lot to her.
Yeah.
She's very
Like
firm.
A whole lot of woman.
big, taller, Komodo dragon, only plump.
Yeah.
Kind of with a soft pink fur and
Plump, hairy Komodo dragon.
a cow or hippo-like muzzle,
Yeah.
short.
No, like a baby hippo with a tail. And
Yeah.
fur.
Like a walking manatee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best way to describe a slowpoke, I've always
Just naming
figured,
all
is
these
like a
movies.
cross between a river otter and a hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm glad she's okay. And if Jackson will let me, I'd like to do lots of research on you fishing.
As long as she's comfortable with it.
Hoping we can get her comfortable near the water again.
I don't know if she won't be comfortable near the water, but we can find out.
I'd hope so. I'd hope it doesn't deter her from fishing.
Both the little girls have joined in and scratching the slowpoke's belly now.
Can you win Pokemon gyms by having cuter Pokemon?
One girl says, "Oh, I wish." Can you imagine the Pokemon people would bring into this gym?
I mean,
Billy did win a pageant.
I love Ryulu, and I think he's gorgeous, but he didn't do so well in the confidence area of the beauty pageant, and I wouldn't want to put him through that again.
That's fair. I think me and Billy just got lucky.
The first little girl looks really excited. She says, "Your Pokemon won a beauty pageant?"
Billy did.
Oh, I've always wanted to take part in a pageant.
They're fun.
They're dangerous. I almost broke my wrist.
I've never heard that before.
We had two very different experiences.
Well, one day I would like to compete in one. I mean, I've been training for the gym. You know, maybe one day I'd like to be a gym leader like Guy, but I would really like to be a pageant queen too.
Who would
You
you
can do
enter in?
both.
Yeah, why not?
Why not
She
both?
pulls a Pokédoll or a Pokeball from her little apron there. And she throws out a Badoo, and she says, "Oh, Badoo isn't much right now, but one day he'll bloom, and you know he'll be the prettiest rose in the pageant."
Oh, I think he's plenty cute as he is right now.
The little Badoo looks like this bundled little tyke of a grass type.
Oh, I know what
Pokemon.
it looks like. I'm wearing one.
On your
I'm wearing
feet.
a doll of one on my feet.
Yeah, speaking of which, the Badoo looks down at your feet, and its eyes go wide, and its mouth just goes.
It's not real. It's a doll. It's a doll. It's a doll. Don't worry.
The little girl takes it back and goes, "Oh," and puts it back in the Pokédoll.
My
And
shoes
then
got
giggles.
my shoes got burned in the lava pits underneath the lake.
Oh,
I needed to improvise.
hold on here 1 minute. Hey, Olivia, do we still have those sandals kicking around? And Olivia nods and says, "Oh yeah, in the lost and found. 1 sec." She runs and shortly comes back with a pair of very cheap flip-flops. It's just a straight foam bottom, little plastic sort of thong bit
Yep.
on top of it. And she
How's
says,
Jackson's
"It's not
pants?
much." Singed around the bottom,
Okay.
but still functional. They
But
cover
not like
everything that
horribly
matters.
up his one.
No.
Not so much. Rips and tears, little cuts that I would probably say are fairly present on both of you. Your
We haven't exactly
My
had a
pants
change
were
of
already
clothes.
ripped.
yeah, your
This-
thick leather jacket probably held up better than his nicer sort of vest.
My pants were
Um,
already ripped. It was the fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought these pre-distressed. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They might have just been distressed. But I need a new shirt.
Yeah. Olivia bows and she hands them to you and says, "Here, I don't know whose feet were in them before, but I mean, we found them out on the floor after one fight."
So someone just like ran right out of their shoes?
Well, I mean, say what you want about Guy, but he'll beat you right out of your shoes, I guess.
Well, I'm not gonna say no to free shoes, but are you sure you don't want to hold on to these for the owner to come back for them?
This was months ago. I
Oh.
must, lost and found. Sometimes you hold on to something indefinitely, right? So.
All right, well, thank you, I suppose. That beats wearing a stuffed doll.
Yes. Yes, they do. The garbage is over there.
Thank you.
She nods, kind of backs away a little bit. She whispers something to the other girl, and she waves to you, and then she too leaves. So now you're just left there with the one girl.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not top priority for me. I can always just use your knife to cut my shirt shorter if I need to, but at some point I'll need a new shirt.
Yeah, I had the feeling that we might want to get a change of clothes at some point in time. It's been a while.
The other girl frowns and she
Kind of
says,
assumed I would wash it when I washed myself.
Yeah, but even then, just wearing the
I
same
know.
clothes over and over and over.
yeah, the other girl frowns and she says, "I don't think you'd want the shirts that we have in the Lost and Found.
Oh, no.
No.
That wasn't a request. That was simply just a
comment.
observation.
Mm,
An observation that drying your clothes under a bathroom air dryer after washing them when you wash yourself isn't an ideal way to live.
Not exactly, no.
She smiles and she says, I know Guy said that you can stay and you are absolutely guest here by all means, but I have to be getting home. It's getting fairly late."
Yeah.
No, of course. I think we are more or less good to go anyways.
Yeah, we gotta get our Pokemon back to Pokemon Center.
I need a nap.
Smiles.
Yeah.
"Well, I hope you feel better."
I do. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Good. She reaches out to take the teacup from you.
And I will give her the finished tea.
She takes it and walks over to the sink, where she turns back to you and she says, "Have a good night, both of you,
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll see you here again."
Yes, hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon, yeah.
She smiles and waves and walks out of the room.
Well, I think on the walk back I'm gonna have a good snuggle with Sassy. Or I pop out Liam and tell him everything's good.
The slowpoke is sort of slowly lying and rolling on its back, just slowly from one side to the other.
Was it still raining when we came
How
in?
much does Maui weigh?
And you can still hear it raining on the ceiling.
Okay. We're gonna do it anyway. I'll carry Maui on the way back. She kind of saved me. I would have fallen into some lava if it wasn't for her, so, it's been a day.
If it weren't for who, sorry?
Maui. I had 2B kind of propping me up to help me out, but then she couldn't lift me. Sassy was trying to lift me, but also couldn't. I popped out Rasputin, and then he couldn't help me either, and then Maui just managed to yank me over the edge again.
I hope Sassy was less problematic than your Squirtle.
Sassy was very independent, let's say that.
Your Squirtle had a lot of attitude.
He's new.
Yeah.
She's new.
They're new.
I didn't really hold it against them, but I don't think we got off on a good foot.
Right, Roshi. Yeah, that's fair.
I definitely tried to give him a berry, and he wouldn't eat it, but he was poisoned, so it kind of forced me to use an antidote, because I wasn't going to let him die down there.
Well, thank you for caring for him.
You're welcome. He's just very stubborn right now, and I think he's going to hate me for a while. But
Yeah, he'll probably just be stubborn for a while.
by the way, you both do have a pocket full of something
Sort of
that you
something.
guys.
Jackson
managed to
probably
grab.
more than Brooke, because I went to check on Sassy partway through. What is in our pocket full of sunshine?
What's in my pocket?
Oh, jeez. Mr. Producer, you are mooning the world.
And then
Brooke.
you just set his ass directly onto the nozzle of your water bottle.
Brooke, reaching into your pocket,
little buddy.
you pull out an assortment of candy bar wrappers. Various different ones. Some that are so old that you can't make
My
out the
knee.
brand. Some of them seem new. A couple bottle caps, just shiny things. Amongst them, two things stand out though. One, this white stone. Not a stone, a pearl. It sort of glitters in the light a little bit. It's about this big, but very nice. And then also another scale. It looks similar to the blue and the red one that you found, but at first inspection, it seems dull and cream colored and kind of boring. You figure you just got the reject scale, but as you shift it in the light and it catches one of the synthetic ceiling lights just right, it shimmers with every color of the rainbow. You would almost call it a prism. And then a number of assorted coins. In total, 520 Pokebucks.
Not
Ooh.
bad.
Jackson, taking stock of what you have, you quickly pick through a ball of twine, a couple hooks that are just tied into this horrible mess. It's honestly just garbage, with a couple very nice shiny spinners on the end of them. You find a number of assorted coins that equal about 310 Pokebucks.
It's not supposed to be said. It's just the keyboard. 310 Pokebucks?
310 Pokebucks. Just mashing space.
Jimmy, why you
Okay.
one eye more
You find
because the light is bright. He's like,
you find mixed amongst that knot of spinners and stuff. What you thought initially was just another spinner to be a spoon, but it appears to be twisted, almost in a spiral. And lastly, a twisted
I
spoon.
don't know.
And lastly, you pull out of your pocket what you initially thought was a full candy bar. It certainly was a red wrapper that was covering something that was solid. But as you pull the wrapper away, you see a small device that resembles, in many ways, your Pokedex. Except for it seems to be corroded a bit from age. You can see in the seam where the battery might have started to corrode and bubble over, given that awful sort of
Ooh,
calcium
yep.
deposit. The screen is cracked, and it sort of flips. Almost think of like an old Nokia phone.
Yeah. Cool. So, is that ball of twine with the hooks in it? Am I able to, like, spend some time to just organize it and make it usable again?
Yeah, if you ever wanted
When we get back to the Pokemon Center. It's not the most tedious task in the world. I was tasked with that on Sunday, but
twine.
no, well, no, I was over at a friend's house and they're like, "Oh, here, help me organize all of these Magic the Gathering cards. Here's
Oh wow!
like 7 boxes worth," and I got like halfway through just trying to organize the greens, and I was like, "This is like take a week." Organize these all on a table that you can just leave for a bit and just plow at it every
Remember
night.
when Steven and I did all of our Pokemon cards?
Oh well.
Fucking thousands of cards. Anyways,
That's what you guys find.
Nice.
old Pokedex it looks like.
I wonder if it still works, like with the right care.
Maybe.
What if there's like a whole mystery behind it?
Well, I mean, if we're going back to the Pokemon Center anyways, we could always call up the professor and see if she knows anything about the stuff that we found.
Cool. When we were talking about pageants, I was thinking about how I feel like one of my Pokemon who I haven't got to spend a lot of time with would be really good in a pageant. And then I started missing them all. We should go by Professor Larch's one day and just see if we can just see all of them.
Yeah. Swing back around there.
Yeah,
on our
one
way.
day when we're like passing through and have time.
See, isn't it kind of on the way to where we want to
It
go
is
anyways?
kind of. I just don't
I don't know,
know
I'm
if
looking
we'll
at
have
that
time or
instead of
not.
Fair.
But-
Fair. We're kind of on.
But I mean, one day we'll come back up and, you know.
Yeah. We'll see her again for sure. For sure.
I just think Fampy is so cute, and she'd probably do really good in it. Also, totally meta. I was sitting there thinking about it, and then I was like, I wonder what her charisma's like. It's a +2. So, she totally would.
Yeah. I feel like Igglybuff and Dandy
Thank you, Mr.
or even Ladybug would be good in it. I feel like Maui.
She's also cheerful, so she's
Yeah.
just like,
I feel like Maui could actually do well in a Pokemon pageant
potentially,
too.
yeah, she probably could.
Just because she would be determined to win. She'd be a lot like Riolu,
That
but she
didn't
has
go
like
over well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Cool.
what is your plan with the gym? Because kind of know what I feel like I need to do, but
I don't know what I need to do, mostly because I don't really know what works on his Pokemon.
that's fair. I feel like I got so close last time. I just need to give my same crew a shot.
I feel like Rasputin and Maui were good choices. I feel like
They did pretty well.
I feel like 2B could do well too if she was given the chance to, but
How do you feel about 2B? Do you think she is ready? It is a she, right?
I don't know if she's ready right now. But
So maybe
We could always. It's not like trying would hurt.
because I was kind of in the
that's
mindset of I wanted to try again with my crew that I did before because I think they deserve the chance to try again, being that I messed up. And then if you win and I lose, then so be it. And I think I can always try again next time we're through here.
We do need 2 badges in order to get onto that boat, though.
Yeah, but we still have Brambletown and the gym there.
I guess, yes. We can give it one
But
more
then
shot.
I'd have to beat those ones.
Yeah. I feel like if we give this one another shot and we don't make it, we can just go to Brambletown and do that one and,
and then we
head
just
back.
have to beat the other one.
Yeah. No pressure.
Yeah.
It's almost like the gym challenge is supposed to be challenging.
Right? Yeah. But do we want to see if we can find some more people tomorrow and do 1 or 2 more days here and then leave, or just straight to the gym tomorrow?
We could try one.
Headstrong and
I think we could
go.
try 1 or 2 more people tomorrow and come back. Maybe and try not to get distracted tomorrow on our way to do it, unless we randomly see another Slowpoke get pulled under.
I mean,
In
there
which case we know
probably
what it
won't
is
be
and
an
where it is.
Adorable slowpoke that we feel bonded and attached to that suddenly gets dragged into the lake tomorrow. The
Hopefully
odds of
not.
that just seem really, really small. But we are very distractible, aren't we?
Yes. Yes. Slightly.
At least it's all for, I mean,
Good.
good reasons. And mostly good comes out of it. I mean, Carmilla legitimately saved my life. And Roshi's. If she hadn't caught us in the air, we just would have plummeted into a pool of lava.
So we both had the same experience.
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have grabbed onto something, but I kind of like shot out like a really bad, scary water slide, and
Yeah.
there was plummeting, and there was just lava below me, and it was pretty scary.
I can't remember what was underneath me when I first got in there. I think it was the same thing though. Pretty much. Or either that or stalagmites.
What?
I can't remember.
That was just very scary. I did catch a Pokemon though.
Oh, nice. You too?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was like weird and large and looked like a stone, and it was not allowing me to walk down a path, and its hands kept moving, and I thought it was just a weird statue. So I went and pulled down on one of the hands, thinking I could change the direction, and it was a Pokemon. Either that or it was his nose. I don't remember. I still don't know what it was.
Well, we can ask Professor Lotch when we go back to the center.
It was really weird, though. Apparently, Ryola was really good with it, though. He heard it pretty bad pretty quick, so that was awesome.
The only thing I ran into other than the Slowpoke and the big serpent, that was Melodic, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because I did pull in the Pokedex at it, so I wouldn't know. The only thing that I ran into other than that was just some of those slug things, those slugma.
Oh yeah, those things that we ran into earlier.
They left me alone again, though, so good to know that we can always just go back there and get one of those if we ever really wanted to.
Pull out the 2 colored scales that I had picked up from the bottom and showed Jackson. Do you want one of these? It's like a token of this bullshit we went through.
Sure.
It's a red one and a blue one.
Do you have a preference for either?
I'm partial to blue, water
I'll take the
thing.
red then.
Ching, ching. It's a water thing.
Okay.
Well, should we just
Make
head
the
back
walk
to the
back?
head back to the Pokemon Center?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will pop Angela back in her Pokeball, and then I will pop out Maui.
Okay.
And without even asking, I'm just gonna pick her up and start walking.
Okay. She's surprised by this, and she reflectively goes to try to attack you, realizes who you are and what you're doing, and kind of stops, but still continues to sit very uncomfortably sort of in your arms as you hold her there. How are you holding her?
I'll put her on I'll hold her like this initially, but eventually I'm just gonna have her like a little toddler. Piggybacking on shoulders.
Yeah, she...
With, the big horrifying maw behind.
She grabs onto your hair and pulls a fair bit, just largely out of fright as she looks around.
I'm gonna pop out Sassy.
Okay.
Sassy, I'd really like to walk back with you.
She stretches one leg out and very methodically starts to lick at it.
Oh, come here. I take off my coat, though, and I'm gonna wrap her around her because I know it's raining and she doesn't like water. But I'm gonna pull the collar and top part up so it's like a little hood and just hold her next to me.
You bundle her. You can feel her struggling a little bit in the coat and growling
So
softly.
you don't get wet. It's just I was worried about you, and I hear that you were very kind in helping Jackson, and I'm proud of you, and I just want to cuddle for a sec. I thought I lost you, okay? You know you like it!
You do hear her purr very softly, but she does continue to growl. You guys step out of the Pokemon gym into the rain. The street lights are on around you, but it's not terribly dark. You imagine they must have just turned on, just minutes before you had entered the street. Around you, everything looks a little bit more magical. The rain clouds are still dark and dense above you, but the light that is cast from the city streets casts these wonderful sort of images across the wetted road, pathway, and beach. The mist seems less foreboding and more mystical, and the city itself is like a painting come to life.
As I walk, I'm screeching Sassy.
Oh, sure. There aren't many cars on the road. You see a lone taxi drive by, honk at you, and the driver waves as he goes by. You see a couple walking by with an umbrella over the top of their head, smiling and making small talk.
I'm a lot politer today.
A little bit. I guess it depends on the part of town you're in.
Maybe.
Somewhere over top, you hear the sound of wing beats, and you hear something go.
I look up.
You see a small white form disappear like a kite on the breeze around the side of a building. And then you're at the doors to the Pokemon Center, and they slide open.
Ding, ding. Did Sassy growl at me the whole way?
No, she settled in after a little while, looking down at her. She's swaddled and her eyes are closed.
Good.
How's Maui?
This is just our relationship.
Maui has been walking with you the whole time. You've been keeping particularly dry, however, because her large maw has been resting over top of you the entire time, almost umbrella-like. It can't cover you entirely, but your head is certainly dry.
I was already soaking.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Hyperthermia levels of soak.
I mean, it's never been cold here, though, is the thing.
That's
It's
true.
not tropical, but given the lake
Still
and
make
the
your bone
volcano and everything
Yeah.
around here, you're much more comfortable than that time that you wandered through the fields and came back wet and soaking from falling into a ditch.
Yep.
The Pokemon Center is still a bustle with a ton of individuals, but now you can see a few cots coming out. You can see people wandering back towards the bunks. You see a line of individuals taking up every single little computer phone at the moment. Lots of individuals going about their business.
Sassy sleeping.
Sassy is sleeping.
I was gonna lean in, like put my face close to hers and say, "I'm really proud of you. You did good, and I'm glad that we found our way back together." And scratch her one more time and put her in the Pokemon.
She disappears inside a red light as a young male nurse comes to greet each of you. And he holds out a metal tray expectantly.
Thank you. Put all my Pokeballs on it.
Same, except for Maui, because I think she's fine. Yeah, so she'll just stay on my shoulders.
He looks at each of you and looks at you expectantly, looks up at the Mawile and notes that you're all healthy and walks away with your Pokeballs, saying, "I'll be right back."
Thank
Maybe
you.
half an hour.
Thanks. Ugh.
Get in line for the phones.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what Professor Larch has to say about, like, the melodic. If that's
Typical.
normal, typical.
I'm curious what she has to say about some of the stuff that we found.
Yeah, like, I mean, the scales and the pearl that I found might just be a scale and a pearl, but
Same with the spoon and the Pokedex.
Pokedex is really fascinating to me.
It is really cool. I have the spoon is just a spoon as far as I know, but we'll see.
Spoon.
Spoon.
I don't know.
Spoon.
I feel like there's just a lot of weird things. I'm surprised we beat the melodic, to be honest, and chased it off.
Same.
Don't know if that would have been at a really shitty spot if she had, or it had done that again under the water.
Yeah, if it had hurt us.
Just thankful that Ryolu got that final boop in. Right on the schnoz.
The snaz.
He like uppercutted in the face, didn't he?
Yeah, it's too bad my guys couldn't do too much during that.
It was just a complicated fight. It was faster than Feral, so he couldn't keep up. And
I only had one that could swim.
I mean, in the end, I had to jump in and have Ryulu on my back. So, I mean, not exactly the most ideal situation.
And there's no way I could have done that myself.
No, it was risky when I did it. So, tomorrow, we'll go to the Pokemon Gym then. See if there's a couple trainers.
Sure.
And not get sidetracked.
No, not this time.
But possibly get items first.
Possibly. We did find a little bit of money while we were down there,
A
so
little bit.
more Pokeballs would be nice, just in case.
Yeah. Having at least 2 seems to be how I operate lately.
Yep.
I very rarely have more than 2. But I guess it's better than nothing.
You see a young girl in a white beret, large rimmed glasses, a very neat little white dress,
Nerd.
straight down to the knees, simple pink leggings that look like little Jigglypuffs, and what could be ballet shoes. Signs off on what phone call she's having and turns around and looks at each of you. You recognize this girl. You met her very briefly in the Brambletown
Did we
Pokemon Gym.
like her?
You like very few people you meet.
Yeah.
You guys had a conversation with her
Don't tell people that.
before she had left.
But it's not like that awful person.
Indigo.
No. No, remember those, like, that really awful couple?
Oh yeah. With the X-Cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not like
We
Brad
like
or
some
Angela.
people. We like Molly.
Sure,
Molly's chill.
always chill.
Mostly because she smokes a lot.
We just don't like the young people. We also like the old lady.
Oh God.
So this little girl is, as best you can tell, 10. She holds a large book at one side and a bag at her other, and she looks the two of you up and down, and she says, I take it you've been in quite the fight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly look worse for wears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the phone's ready for you if you'd like it. You can have it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And she turns and she walks away. Quite briskly.
Was she always that weird?
It's very matter of fact.
Okay.
And dial up the professor.
Sure. The phone rings for but a second before you see Professor Larch, who is clearly already sitting at her desk, turn and swivel towards the camera and goes, "Oh, 2 phone calls in one night. How nice."
Yeah.
Hi.
It's been an eventful day.
Oh, well, stories? You have some stories to tell? I hear you tap, 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 tap. Picked up some data from some... am I reading this correctly? From underneath Make-A-Wish Lake?
I have no more shoes. I had to make Badoo shoes because the lava burnt them off
We were...
Excuse me?
out of a stuffed doll.
Yeah. We were legitimately, like, in some magma tunnels under Make-A-Wish Lake.
Oh dear, were
Not
you
a-
investigating the Basculin? Is that where that led you?
No, we were on the
No.
beach heading to the gym to fight some other trainers, and we
Oh,
saw.
how did it go?
We didn't get to the gym because there was a slowpoke that we saw the day before on the beach,
What a roller coaster.
and it looked really excited for a second before
And
it
then
looked
it was
terrified
just terror.
as
She
it
picks
got
up a
pulled
cup and
into the
goes-
water from. It got pulled into the water very quickly, and we followed it down onto the into the caves underneath the lake. And
Oh, is this the slowpoke that you called me about the other day?
It is, yes.
Yeah. We were
Oh, well, that's a shame.
we
You know,
were so attached
sometimes
to
these
her.
things happen in nature, though.
We were so attached to her, and then when we saw the sheer terror on her face, followed by the initial joy, we didn't think things through.
Oh, that's nothing. One time I noted a large adult female galvantula. You know, the females are much larger than the male. Devouring... I will save that story for later. Please continue. Go on, you were saying?
It got pulled under the water. We went under the water with it to find a cave system under the lake, and
Oh,
ended up
yes.
separated.
Yes.
And I nearly died in lava.
There was a
couple
lot
of
of lava.
times.
Sorry. You found an entrance to the lava tunnels underneath.
We did.
There were those who said that they've found them before, and they say this is quite the complex maze
It was.
It is.
underneath, like a honeycomb.
And lots of danger. And if it's raining, apparently water just, like, flushes through. Like, you're suddenly on a very scary, water slide with lava at the bottom instead of a swimming pool.
You know what? I have a report here somewhere, if I can find my files. I sent Larry out to do some investigations on seismic activity around Mount Flag at one point in time. That could explain some of that. You know, Mount Flag is an active volcano.
Yes.
It was very active.
It was. The magma not as much as the water.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up being able to track that slowpoke down to a part of the cave where a melodic was hanging out,
Yeah.
and I guess the melodic had pulled the slowpoke under. It was beautiful, but it was also terrifying because we had to try to fight it off in its cave, or we probably would have died. And then the cave flooded, and I don't remember a lot after that because I was unconscious and nearly drowned.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, our Pokemon were getting really hurt, and then, you know, Ryulu kind of like fainted, but then he got back up and he punched it in the schnoz, and then it swam away. I was pretty sure that we were just gonna all fall unconscious down there and then be stuck with an angry melodic and it be, you know, bad. And then it broke through the cave wall, and then all this water just started filling up, and then we kind of got sucked out like a vacuum, and Jackson couldn't hold his breath long enough, and he couldn't use the weird like bottle system that he did because he ran out of air.
I made a very, very makeshift rebreather out of empty potion bottles.
Well, that is incredibly exciting. In all my years, that's astonishing.
Exciting to hear about, terrifying to be part of.
I can only imagine.
Very.
I rarely get such
You okay, Self?
the dog barking in the backwards.
Yeah.
In the backwards.
in the backwards.
In the backwoods.
It's kind of like the upside down.
That's
only it's
exactly what I was
different.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to hear a random spectral dog barking in the backwards. That's scary. She says, "Few live to tell such fantastical tales."
One day, I'm
marvelous.
sure I will laugh at them. In the meantime, it was terrifying. And I had Jackson's Squirtle, who probably momentarily will hate me for a little bit. Lots of attitude, but he's good. He's good.
That's excellent. Good to hear.
And Maui's coming around. She actually saved my life down there.
Oh, and Brooke, I noted you sent a new Pokemon.
Yeah,
our
what
way?
was that?
It's actually quite a rare Pokemon. We don't see many of them in this time. And honestly, usually fairly deep under mountains. They're not common here in Wundoro at all.
I feel like he was playing tricks on me, and I have no idea what it was.
Nose pass? I wouldn't assume so, though they come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and natures, to be sure.
Wouldn't let me walk down a path. I was like I was on a treadmill.
Oh yes. They have fantastic magnetic abilities. They're quite astonishing Pokemon, honestly. Did you know
So it was
that
like,
their
I couldn't
nose
move further?
always points north?
Was it his nose that I was pushing down? Is that why he got mad at me?
I can only assume.
Oh.
It was no longer pushing north, and it was like, what the fuck is going on with this? This isn't in my Pokemon description.
Yeah, along with their fantastic magnetic abilities, they're quite sensitive to the magnetic pull of the earth.
So I couldn't move because of, I don't know, was like the iron or something in my blood being like forced back to it? Like, what? I'm not a magnet,
Is an interesting hypothesis.
but I'm not a magnet.
Dewey, write this down. Nose passes magnetic abilities. Can they affect the iron in a person's blood?
Because there's not other metal in me, is there?
Well, no, but there could be metal in the ground. And it was pulling the ground underneath you.
Oh. Guys, I mean, I'm not a magnet. So something was moving or not moving. It was really weird.
I mean, there are some crackpot theories about magneticism in the human body, but
I don't know. I just,
snake oiled a lot of it.
you know, parents take your vitamins and they want you to have more iron and calcium.
Yes.
and-
Iron's a very real thing, absolutely.
I don't know. It was weird. But okay, it's a nose pass.
Yes,
It's interesting. Rare, you say? Really?
absolutely, yes.
It said no's to your ability to pass by it.
Or yet. I'll have to think of a name.
Oh, yeah. And when she was gone at one point, I went fishing with my foot like the
Yeah.
Slowpoke did, and I caught Squirtle.
I believe there are some parts of the world that would call that noodling. And it is
Yeah.
typically ill-advised.
It worked out.
Is that how you lost your shoes?
No, I lost my shoes in the magma.
In the magma. All right. Good to see that you're doing quite all right, and I will in no way be having nightmares tonight. I will sleep much easier knowing that a few of my Pokemon trainers are...
That we make bad choices and somehow always pull through.
Yes, that.
We do also have a couple
Yeah.
of questions, though. We found
Couple
some
weird items.
Yeah, we found some stuff in the
Oh.
Melodic's lair, abode,
Oh,
hovel, if you will, depending on I don't know the term specifically
Sparkly
for.
home.
I mean, beauty and mystery attracts beauty and mystery. What?
So there's this, and I'll pull up what I think is an old Pokedex. And it looks like just an old Pokedex.
She gasps and she says, "Oh my, old if if I'm old, I am." And she roots in her pocket and she pulls out one that looks almost identical, except for in pristine condition. And she says, "That is a Pokedex from my younger days."
Like a Pokedex that you would have used at that point in time? Or are you saying this
She
might
holds
be
up
one of...
hers and she says, "Oh well, not mine. I
Okay.
kept mine in excellent condition. I've never let it out of my sight. But
See, it's a mystery.
This would be something that you would be interested in if we brought it back to you. Would this help with your research, I'm assuming? Maybe, if you could get
I'd
the
be
information
very
off of it?
interested in what and who I might find on that. That Pokedex would have been issued from one White Dogwood, Professor White Dogwood, my senior.
Interesting. Well, we'll definitely bring it back. And then the other one that I had, and I'll pull out the spoon. Spoon. Is this just a spoon? I'm assuming it's just a spoon, but
She focuses on it a little bit and she says, "Oh, I mean, potentially, but not necessarily. There have been Pokemon who are known to use such items as a focus
a focus for what?
for their psychic abilities, specifically.
What kind of Pokemon?
A psychic type, presumably.
Medicinal.
In fact, amongst Pokemon with such abilities, it can amplify their skills.
That's interesting. I will hold on to this then.
Absolutely. That's a valuable find. Many would have passed over it as trash, but I see you have a very discerning taste.
I definitely wasn't just grabbing handfuls of stuff in the Melodic's lair and stuffing it in my pockets, but yes.
I got a couple things too.
Of course.
Probably nothing, but I got this, and I pull out a small white pearl.
Okay. She looks at it and she says, "Oh, quite lovely.
Just a pearl.
Valuable.
Just a pearl, though.
I would assume so."
Cool. More money.
As we go to our local Pokemon professor so she can cast Identify on all of our items.
And I have this, and I hold up the rainbow scale.
Okay. She fixes her glasses, and as it sort of turns in your hand, the bright light strikes her in the eyes, and she winces for a second and says, "Oh, gorgeous. You don't see many of those. That was probably shed by the Melodic itself. That is what's known amongst Pokemon collectors as a prism scale."
Is it just a scale, like more money?
Well, I assume
Can
Did I just
pocket?
get like rich?
I would assume that someone would pay a hefty sum for such an item, but more practically, in the right hands, it has certain evolutionary properties to it.
What type of Pokemon?
Well, for possibly a Pokemon that could one day itself be a melodic.
Feebas. Italian hands and medicine.
She smiles.
Cool. Very specific, but very cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out what, didn't you win something in a Poke Pageant that evolves things?
Oh, the rock thing.
Yeah, maybe the professor knows.
Maybe we'll pull out the King's Rock.
She looks it over and she says, yes, I mean, an valuable item to have in a Pokemon battle. I've seen some use it to some great effect. It seems to cause other Pokemon to stutter or take note of it in a useful sort of way. But yes, we've also noted the evolutionary properties of such a stone. It's known as a King's Rock, and amongst Poliwhirl and Slowpoke, some Slowpoke that is, it can trigger a very unique evolutionary line.
Well, that's lucky.
Very. What do you mean by some Slowpoke?
Well, there are curious cases within the Pokemon world where Pokemon may meet a fork in the road in their evolutionary process, as it may be, where one might take one path and become something totally different than one that took the other.
Maybe your Slowpoke won't want to evolve through fishing after this event.
Maybe. Maybe I just give the King's Rock to the Slowpoke to hold on to and see what happens.
Is it one of those things where you like give it to it and then it evolves right away? Or do they get to choose?
Well, I mean, I can't account for every nature amongst Pokemon. The world is wide and wonderful. But the one thing I suppose I could say is that not every Pokemon may be ready at the moment that they are presented with such an opportunity. Whether that is something that they intrinsically know about their internal makeup, or whether it is purely a matter of preference. Hard to say. It's one of the mysteries of our world.
Interesting. I will hold on. Well, I mean, obviously I'll hold on to this, but I think I might just give it to Angela right away and see what happens.
She smiles. She says, well, science is based on trial and error.
I suppose. Horticulture is not.
Well, you've definitely given me something to chew on tonight, and I hope I've left you with something as well.
Oh, you've helped us a lot.
Yeah.
And you are going to look into that basculin?
Yes, on the way
Yes.
leaving.
Excellent, excellent. And I did tell you that that opportunity that I had waiting for you in Bramble has since moved on.
Yeah.
Yep, I believe so.
Okay, okay. Excellent. Well, if there's nothing else, I think I'm going to finish my cup of tea and possibly be off to enjoy a good book.
It sounds like a good way to spend the night. I
Have a
might
good
follow
night.
suit.
Wish you all the best.
You as
Take care,
well.
you two, and stay safe.
No promises.
We'll try to make better choices.
Well.
Good night. And
Good
she hangs
night.
up.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, what if she knew the person who had that Pokedex?
Yeah.
Actually, as you say that, the light on the computer starts flashing, and the little Pokeball starts spinning, and you hear it ringing.
Answer?
Okay. You see the professor there, and she says, "Oh, good, it's you. It would have been very awkward if somebody else had just randomly picked up the phone." Dewey just noted, I just spoke with White, Professor White Dogwood's granddaughter. She's apparently in the Poke Center there with you. If you wanted to know more about the Pokedex, you may be able to ask her about it. She may know.
What does she look like?
She's
can
young.
guess.
10.
Really straightforward Jigglypuff pant girl.
That
I know, but
would describe her.
just the
Very
one I met.
cutesy, but I wouldn't tell her that. She's got her grandfather's brain, but that's, to be.
But don't call her
Sure.
cute.
I mean,
What happens when you call her cute?
she'd be terribly offended. You have to understand, women in our position, women of science and whatnot, rather be renowned for their brains and not for their looks.
Fair.
Yeah.
And she's come to a frank understanding of that at quite a young age. Anyways, just thought you'd know. Or you'd like to know. I'm sorry. I'm off. Good night.
Have a good night.
She hangs up
Okay.
again.
I think she can be cute and smart.
Yeah. It's just a
Shame.
matter of what they prioritize.
Yeah.
Where some people don't like to be. I can understand how some people might not want to be boiled down to their physical appearance upon first meeting them. It might get old after some time.
I mean, I just thought she was very socially awkward. That
Yeah.
was my first impression. What do you boof?
Yes, you. What are you boofing at?
What do you boof? Don't make me
Everything.
shut the door.
He boof at everything. Anyways,
What did she say her name was?
I'm the wrong person to ask. Considering the theme of this character.
It was Professor White something Wood
Cat tree.
granddaughter, right?
Yes. I believe so.
White Bramblewood? No. That's a town. Jackson, I think it's rubbing off on me. Oh no. We can do this without saying her name. Where is she?
She wandered off towards the bunks.
Okay, go find her.
Okay. You wander off in that direction. There's a few different rooms. One is noting males and one's noting female in a very hostile sense.
No,
It's very hostile.
This is for women, Jackson. Get out.
With adjacent washrooms that are likewise gender equated.
I suppose you have this conversation with her.
Okay, I'll go in and see if she'll come out. I'm gonna go into the dorm area, the very hostile room.
And I'm just gonna dance around and I'm just gonna dance around outside with Mary on my fucking shoulders, being happy
Do I
that she
see
be
this girl?
fucking alive.
Yeah.
Do you see this girl? Looking on the bed, you see a few other girls who are readying themselves for sleep or caring for their Pokemon. You do see what appears to be White's things on one of the bunks. Her bag, her large book that you've seen her carrying around. Likewise, sitting on that bed is a Pokemon that eyes you up as you walk by, noting the stuff.
Pokedex. Do I know what it is? Is it something I recognize? Before I just
Pointing your Pokedex at it, it spins before you say, "Oh, I know what this is." The picture of a soft, woolly, yellow-tinted sheep with blue colors on its
Aw.
face and on its limbs reveals
say
and
sheep or
says,
cheap?
"Sheep,"
Okay.
and it says, "Mareep, the wool Pokemon. Mareep's fluffy coat of
Mareep.
wool rubs together and builds a static charge. The more static electricity is charged, the more brightly the light bulb at the end of its tail glows." You do note at the end of its tail is a small glowing orb.
And Professor White's granddaughter's nowhere around.
She does not appear to be here. at
Is
the
there a
moment.
bunk next to her?
There is.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in the bunk next to her if it's not occupied.
You sit down, and the little sheep eyes you up warily.
Hi. So, do you not want me to sit here?
And it looks between you and the stuff and back at you, and it moves a couple inches closer to it.
See, I'd offer you this really cool cookie, but I also don't want to give you a cookie without asking your Pokemon trainer first.
Roll Pokemon handling.
First roll of the night.
No. It's a 6. Typical Brook fashion.
You feel a small static charge on the end of your hand.
Hey.
Just enough to sting, not enough to hurt. And he goes,
Making very many friends today. What if I sit at this one? Is there one like across?
No. Most of this room is already taken. The one you sat down is one of the exceptions. Another girl looks at you, and a couple of the other girls look at you, and one says, "Hey, you're not trying to take that girl's stuff, are you?"
No, I'm just waiting. I actually want to talk to her when she gets back.
The Mareep keeps going. Jackson, you do hear a little bit of a ruckus from the hallway, and you see a girl with a beret on and a towel wrapped around her scurry out of the washroom and then scurry into the room, and she looks at you and she looks at her Mareep, and she immediately dives for her book, catches her towel, and pulls the book close to her. And she says, "I'm sorry, but my research is not ready for peer review yet."
I wasn't gonna.
Good job, Mareep.
I wasn't gonna look at your research. Sorry.
Why? Is it not?
No, I didn't. Didn't know what it was. Actually, I thought it was maybe something personal, like a diary or something. It would be rude to go through somebody's things.
Are you telling me that you are the type of person who fashions themselves a snoop of other people's diaries?
No, that's why.
If it were a diary, is that something that you would have wanted to snoop? I'm sorry that.
No, I was.
Thank you, Mareep. You've done a wonderful job.
I wasn't gonna touch your things. I was actually wanting to talk to you. But your Mareep was protective of the book, obviously. Your research, I didn't realize what that was so protective about. And I was saying that when you came back that your Mareep could have this cookie that I have. But come to think of it now, it probably wouldn't want the cookie because it's probably pretty waterlogged. So forget it.
She fetches her glasses out from her bag and she puts them on. She says, "Oh, it's you. All right. Let me get changed first."
Yeah, no, I won't touch your research, I promise. And tell your Mareep that I'm just going to wait here.
She puts the book back down on the bed tentatively, and the Mareep steps on it with both feet and looks across at you and goes, narrows its eyes a bit. She quickly, though awkwardly, puts herself in a set of pajamas. They have little balls of fur at the end of the feet. There's a little hood that has
called cute, but
these long sort of ears with these big tufts of fur at the end of it. It's a combination of it looks like a boutonniere.
Not that Brook would know.
And she does up the zipper and she says, "Okay, fine. What did you want to ask me?"
Well, I hear that you're the person to ask. You're Professor White. I'm sorry, I missed the whole name. You're their granddaughter?
She straightens up a little bit and she says, "Yes, I would be the person to ask. You refer to, of course, my grandfather, Professor White Dogwood."
Dogwood.
Yes.
I was like, it was White and something Wood, but I couldn't remember that last.
Yes,
sorry.
I was named after him.
And I'm sorry, I'm not sure I got your full name, or it's been a while.
I just said, my name's White.
Oh, your name is White.
Yes.
Oh,
Is
so
that surprising?
no, I just thought White Dogwood was all like one last name. I didn't. Okay,
No, that's just Dogwood.
okay. Nice to meet you. More formally, White. I hear that you're very bright and could probably
Usually, when exchanging names, one
Sorry,
gives the other
yeah,
name.
yeah, Brooke. I'm Brooke Sawyer.
Brooke Sawyer.
Yeah.
I can't say I know any Sawyers.
Not from around here. You'd probably know the name if you were from Brava, but
Yes, the tone of your skin, the way you speak, your accent. Brava, you said? Yes, that's accurate. Yeah.
I hear that you're very smart,
She
and
smiles a little
intellectual.
bit.
Jackson, we've met before, yes.
Oh yes, briefly.
Yeah, the older gentleman that's travels with me. His name's Jackson. He found something pretty interesting, and Professor Larch said that you'd probably be able to help us with it.
Well, if Professor Larch said, I can't imagine she'd be wrong about something like that.
She spoke very highly of you.
Oh well. Thank you.
Love your pajamas, by the way.
Oh,
So cool.
they're hand-me-downs. What was it that you had?
It's an old Pokedex.
Oh, an old Pokédex, you say?
Yeah, it's pretty beat up, potentially a little waterlogged, maybe. But we're not entirely sure if it has any information. Professor Larch was pretty interested by it and said that you could maybe give us a hand. If you wanted to come out there, Jackson's out there with it right now.
Yes. Yes. That sounds excellent. Please show me the specimen.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for helping us out.
She nods and she marches out the
What
little.
are you researching, by the way? I mean, if it's not ready, totally understand, but...
She turns back and she looks and she stares at the book for a moment. She looks back at you and she says, "Oh well, my journey. It's, my magnus opus. It's a retelling of my tales and experience. It's a very first-hand sort of experience
She's a
and
bard.
research. This and that. I haven't settled on my final thesis yet.
No, that's okay. I totally came out here to do research on water-type Pokemon for bringing it back home, and I just caught my first one, actually, in this city, so I guess I should probably start.
Oh, you're first.
Yeah, my first water-type.
Oh, I see.
Anyway,
Good
yeah.
for you. Yes, please show me. Yes.
Yeah.
And she smiles and she walks out. As she does so, the little ears on
Trying to relate
that
to
hang
this
off
girl.
the hood
Yep.
sort of bounce up and down, and her the footsies on the onesie are far too long, and they sort of flop up and down as she goes. But she walks very authoritatively out of the room until she sees the older man and says, "Ah, yes, you must be Jackson. You have the specimen in hand, I take it?"
Specimen?
Yes.
Pokédex.
The Pokédex.
Oh, right, yes. No. Reaches in my bag and grab it.
She looks horrified. She says, "What have you done to this? You're touching it with your bare hands? No. There's oils on your skin. Here, just give it to me. Give it to me. She puts out her hands, which are covered in these lovely little faux fur sort of paw pads.
Jackson's going to lick it.
I just tried so hard to relate to this girl, and Jackson's just like...
She faints.
She fainted?
Just and falls over backwards.
Jackson, what'd you do?
That might not have been the best decision. This has probably got some sort of disease on it. But I had to fuck with her a little bit. Come on!
I tried so hard to relate to her. She's not an easy person to talk to.
I noticed.
I get down on the ground and like prop her up, and I'm like, "Hey, White."
And I'll go find some sanitary
You can
wipes.
see her look up at you and go, I can't fathom.
I don't know why that was the first thing to come to mind, but I was like, Jackson's a bit of a shit disturber. Let's roll to see how much he is.
I was like, what?
It tastes almost salty.
Just a little. I'm gonna go find some sanitary wipes. No, for the Pokedex. Whatever's in my system is in my system.
Are you okay?
Roll insight?
Not a medicine.
She's like,
this is how I roll.
and you're like, oh my god!
I don't know why he did that.
To be fair, neither does he.
He's been through. He's been through
humanity.
He's been through a lot today. We like nearly died. He's probably. I can't even.
That device probably belongs in a museum. It does belong in a museum built by my grandfather himself. Oh, one of the last remaining models, I'm sure. And he licks it with his bare, dirty tongue. Ah!
So that's why Professor Larch said, I feel like I might have been a bit spacey when talking to her. I was learning so much. Your grandfather made these devices then.
With his own two hands.
So he probably knew the Pokemon trainer that had this personally.
I would imagine he did, yes. She
Maybe
slowly
one
starts
of
to
his
pull her together.
like maybe he sponsored them like Larch does with me and Jackson?
As he was to do, yes. It has been the habit for Pokemon professors for some time to utilize up-and-coming trainers to expand their research and opportunities.
Does your grandfather sponsor you? Is that what you're out here doing?
My grandfather has been dead for some years now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
No, that's just natural. People get old and die. It will happen to myself and to the old man eventually.
But in the meantime,
Probably sooner than either of us.
Especially if he keeps going the way that he has been. Licking random objects he finds on the bottom of the ocean floor.
On the things that Jackson and I go through, I don't want to think about it, but you know,
you don't
we've
need to say
almost died
anything.
a
It's
couple
quite
times.
apparent. I can tell from your state of distress.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that you'll definitely probably end up like your grandfather. You know, living up to.
Oh, of course I will. I plan on following in every one of his footsteps.
Well, you're well on your way.
That's what I'm told. The specimen, the device.
He went to go. You know, I don't know where he went. He kind of wandered off. Did you say why? Or did you
No, but I'd assumed during the course of this conversation you would probably found sanitary wipes and come back.
Okay.
It's been like 5 minutes.
And what are you doing?
Just finding sanitary wipes to wipe off the Pokedex with.
She looks
And then like bring back.
aghast. She's like, "You wipe off any evidence that the surface might contain? What? Are you a complete simpleton? I cannot fathom after how many years of your existence that you would think that would, for one iota, oh! And she feigns
Oh god.
passing out again.
I thought I was gonna struggle. Apparently, just flattery.
When nobody's paying her any attention, she slowly starts to come to and says, if you are done destroying my grandfather's work, can I please see the device? She holds out her onesie faux fur pawed hand.
Are you sure your faux fur paw is not going to destroy more evidence that is on the Pokedex? that I have apparently risked my life to bring back to you for no reason at this point in time.
And it may be in vain. Please, give it here. She takes it and she coddles it and runs both hands over it and flips it open and closes it. She's, oh, this is very advanced.
In a museum, Jackson.
State of decay.
I don't doubt it.
All the batteries clearly on the core components, and
It looks like it's been left alone for some time.
she shakes it gently, and you hear a little. Ow.
Is there any possibility of getting it working again?
Of course, there's always a possibility, but I'll have to see what I can do. Leave this with me.
Here, they're fine.
Sure.
She nods.
And how long will you think it'll take to figure out if you can get it working?
Well, I mean, I don't have my laboratory here, and most of my equipment. Well, I do have my Mareep. I'm sure the nurses have a couple things I could jerry rig together. Give me a couple nights.
So tomorrow, day after?
Yes, by definition, that is what a couple nights means.
I wasn't sure if you were including this night.
Thinks about that for a moment. No. Not tomorrow night, but the night after.
Okay. So 3 nights.
Pats it gently.
On the third night, she'll have it. It will be 2 nights, and on the third, it will be ready. Potentially.
Yeah.
She looks at both of you and she says, "Now you must leave me to my beautiful sleep. I cannot work when I don't have my proper 8 hours.
Well,
you know, a
of
growing,
course,
developing mind
your
needs..."
brain needs those 8 hours to function properly.
Are you mocking me?
No.
Because I assure you that studies have shown that a developing, young, fertile mind, such as mine, requires as much sleep as possible
No, it
to
was,
fully develop into a functioning adult brain.
I
Well,
know.
not as much sleep as possible. Too much sleep is...
I used to
A
make
negative.
sure
Well, of
I
course, I
got
was
a
using a bit of
full
a
night's
hyperbole.
sleep before every swim competition. I get it. Your brain needs food, needs sleep to function properly. I know. I get it. Go sleep.
Looks down and shuffles a little bit and she says, "Okay. Good night."
Good night.
Turns and she leaves. Walking into the dorm.
No thank you or anything for finding this thing that's been on the bottom of the lake floor for God knows how long.
She's so weird.
She's
so weird.
I don't think that says she's weird. I think it's that she hasn't had a proper example to grow up with to show her how to be polite to
She's
people.
socially inept.
Very much so.
I
Although to
don't
be fair,
even
I was
know if
fucking
I
with
know
her
what
a
that word means. I just know that socially she doesn't do so well.
little. Very awkward.
Yes. Just one of those expressions I've heard a lot. Yeah. I kind of just would rather, like, sleep in the middle of the floor of the Pokemon Center than go back in that room. She accused me of reading her research, and then it was very awkward.
Yeah, it seems like a thing she would do.
And I had to, like, flatter
This is a
her.
10-year-old child who I'm already not very fond of.
I had to throw her so much, like, praise and flattery, and
It didn't work.
it kind of did. I mean, I got her out here, and I got her, like, conscious again, and
Though I feel like if you would have just have told her about the Pokedex, she would have come out here anyways. She seems to have a very one-track mind.
that is true.
That's whatever gets her ahead in her research.
Just sounds like she's writing a journal, honestly. But, I mean, who knows?
Well, part of research is talking about your experiences with certain
That's
things.
true. I need to get myself a journal. Start documenting.
I need to use mine more.
Yeah, I mean, well, now we got enough. I mean, I did come out here to research water Pokemon, but I do want to research other Pokemon. And not only the research water Pokemon, but like physiotherapy. And I got Keegan, and now I got all this stuff and that I can observe and write about. Now that we've been out here for a bit. And you got Squirtle, and come to think of it, what type of Pokemon is Slowpoke? I mean, we've seen it fish and near the water, but...
Does the Pokedex say what kind of Pokemon it is?
Yeah, it would.
Because I know it's water psychic, but I don't know if Jackson Jackson would have known that.
Yeah.
But he would have, yeah, okay. Water psychic? I can give it the spoon!
You can give it the spoon!
Or the King's Rock. I don't know which I would prefer. Probably the King's Rock. As if it
You
evolves.
should talk to her tomorrow.
I could talk to her tomorrow.
Because maybe she really wants to fish again. Maybe she doesn't want the Kingstone, but maybe she does want the Kingstone because she doesn't want to fish anymore.
Maybe.
And maybe she really wants to
I can
evolve.
maybe talk to her some other time. I want to talk to Maui.
Yeah, that would be valuable. Mary's really coming around.
She has been. She's doing a very, very wonderful job. You look up at her.
She's just kind of still looking around. She's looking up at one of the lights. It's shaped like a Pokeball, but it's glowing a soft red and white light over top of you. A person walks by you and her maw follows it. Closes.
See, she's not just out attacking people. Improvements.
Yep. So true. Oh, Mary. Mary.
Down at you.
You have been a challenging one, but we love you all the same. Nice creature.
She sort of pulls on your hair a little bit, trying to direct you closer towards Brooke a little
I'll
bit.
lean her in more. And like crouch down a little bit just so she can get a better angle.
Thanks for saving the old man when I wasn't around.
She looks at you and looks back at the old man and nods,
Yeah.
a little unsure.
Never thought when I started this journey that I'd be on it with some old guy and is like, how old you, Jackson?
72.
But I'm happy I am.
I didn't know I'd be paired up with anybody. I didn't know that was a thing that happened.
Neither did I entirely, but, you know, I figured that, like, Pokemon trainers kind of meet up and travel together.
Yeah, probably occasionally.
Never thought I'd be going on the journey with anybody, let alone a...
Same.
If
I thought
anything, I thought I'd get stuck with, like, some 10-year-old.
I thought a lot of people that went and did this were my age, to be honest. I thought it
Really?
would. Well, I mean, to be fair, my wife wanted to do it for a long time, apparently.
I think you should be proud, Jackson. I mean, you've nearly died several times, but
Yeah, I don't remember her well enough to know if she'd be proud
I mean,
or if she'd just be worried.
but she wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, so she clearly cared about Pokemon.
Yeah.
And most of the dangerous stuff we've gotten ourselves into have all been because we cared about Pokemon. I think she'd be proud.
Well, thank you, Brooke. Hopefully, when I remember more, I can corroborate.
Hey, I mean, who knows? Seems like we found some stuff that might
Potentially.
be you. We'll get there. I would love to see if
Implications.
my Pokemon are ready. Gotta give Riolu a hug. I think he was concerned, but he actually went back in the Pokeball. He understood.
Yeah.
It was understanding to the fact that I didn't want him in danger when...
Best place for him to not be in danger is in the Pokeball.
Well,
I guess technically probably with Professor Lodge, but
yeah, it was just tough. Like, I had to use Camilla a lot, and I didn't want Roshi and Camilla and Liam all out. No?
yeah, that's fair.
But Carmilla did like crazy boop. Like boop, like told me where tunnels were that didn't have dead ends, so that helped.
Oh, is she echolocated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that description of it.
She boop and tell me where things are.
I wasn't sure what to call
Perfect.
it. Brooke didn't know what to call it. Melissa knew.
And Jackson's old enough that I think I can just be like, oh, he knows the word.
I was like, I don't know how many Pokemon Brooke's been around that have had like blindside echolocation like bats do. So it went boop. And
We're like, anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
You guys wander back out into the main lobby, and there's a very frantic sort of nurse who has a tray full of Pokeballs come running back over towards you and say, "Oh, I thought you had left.
No,
Your
never without them.
Pokeballs." Gives them both back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He nods. He says, "Have a wonderful day."
What are the male nurses here called? Are you Nurse Jim?
I don't know.
Turns
Ask
around,
him.
he says, "My name's John, actually."
Okay. Sorry, I just know that all the nurses we've run into have all been Nurse Joy. I didn't know if it was a similar thing with the male staff.
That's very odd coincidence. Shrugs and walks away.
I'm gonna go to the Pokemon exchangey place.
'Kay.
The little machine.
To the little PC.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna take Chimchar and Electrike.
Okay.
And switch them out with Basculin and go back. So I got my traditional party.
Your traditional party, eh?
My traditional.
Very traditional.
I'm gonna keep my party the same, I think, actually.
Okay.
I named my nose pass Nichols.
Nichols. I like it.
Mhm.
Here. This is probably a good chance to take a break. Anybody wants anything? You want another drink?
A mixed something.
I think
The-
I'm
the-
good for now, but
The one from the glass bottle, please. I don't remember what that is.
Boom, 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 boom.
Is it gin in the glass bottle?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, your camera's a little spotty. Yours.
Oh, is it stuttering?
Ice, gin, Coke.
I can fix it. And by fix it, I mean I can change the capture to something else for a second. Yeah. Oh, but it's this one. It's that button. That
Okay.
camera. There we go.
would have been
Hopefully
at least
better.
one Pokemon she would have been familiar with that had echolocating. But I wasn't sure if there was any bat-like Pokemon that would have been doing that. So I was like, it's a boop and because fuck, I forgot its name.
Which one?
That one.
Oh.
Forgot its name. It's like
It's
a
Swablu and something else, isn't it?
no Swablu.
Swablu is
the
you know,
bird.
yeah, it's different. That evolves into
It's a
the dragon.
something. Is it something bad?
Noibat?
No, no. Yeah, no. Noibat is something else.
No,
Steven,
not Noibat.
what's the name of that Pokemon again?
Swoobat.
Swoobat!
Swoobat and Woobat.
Yep.
I was trying to
I was
remember-
close.
The only reason that I didn't
I think
know what echolocation was or had Brooke not know what echolocation was is because I wasn't sure if there was any bat-like Pokemon that would have used like echolocation type of
well, and who
blind
knows
sight.
if those ones actually still echolocate if they don't, because if they don't have blind sight, then they wouldn't.
Yeah, but because of the makeup of Pokemon, one could argue that blind sight doesn't necessarily mean echolocation.
I mean, yeah.
Could be tremor sense of some kind. But
Yeah.
it could be
Well,
like if they were
Billy
ground.
has tremor sense
I don't know.
on the ground.
It could be like it
Just
could
like
be like a
Tackles, but-
psychic intelligence, like based on the makeup of Pokemon. Like blind sight could literally be a Pokemon just like closing its eyes and using psychic energy to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean echolocation.
Yeah, exactly. So even if that did have blindsight, it might not equate to it.
Oh, and Zubat. So I should have known.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never know what gens Pokemon are. But maybe I don't have a lot of experience with Zubats. And
Well, Zubat's the first gen.
Sorry, not Zubat.
Crobat.
No, Dalbat.
Which one?
This bad.
Oh, yeah, that is Noibat.
That one.
Noibat and whatever the
Disbat.
wyvern. Noivern. MVP.
Maybe we just didn't have a lot.
Whose
of
name I already
bats.
can't remember. Hoobastank.
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 Stank died.
Yeah, Hoobastank died. They all died at the end. We lost to that fucking one goddamn Pokemon. The fucking one legendary. Little fucking sword asshole. That we then went and just got our comeuppance with a Wobbuffet encounter.
When I picture Skylar,
With the focus sash.
when I picture Brooke's brother Skylar, like, even though I know that, like, Brava has different Pokemon, I can't help but be like, the whole, like, Pidgeotto
Weird,
type of
so little
stream of him, like,
Maybe.
having that as a main companion. But realistically, it's probably more of like a, fuck, what is the vulture-y dude?
Mandibuzz.
No, that one.
The vulture is Mandibuzz.
That's what that is? Sorry, not the vulture, that one. The one that looks like a little native headdressy guy.
Natu?
No,
Natu and Zatu?
You're talking about, what's it
Which one?
called?
One with the...
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, that one.
It's like the
Yeah.
large hawk.
That's the one I more see her
Wow,
brother
now I
having.
feel bad.
You know, there's only like 600 Pokemon.
Like
800.
800, almost 900. Thank you. Braviary.
So personally offended.
Braviary.
Braviary.
It's Brava's national Pokemon.
Really?
That's what
Oh,
Bravo's
all the
named
more
after.
reason that Skylar probably has one as his companion Pokemon.
Okay.
Her sister probably has something like in Brava. What would be the little like pudgy pink Pokemon in the Pokemon centers?
Audino, probably?
This little pudgy pink dude.
No, that's
It's probably more her mother.
That's a Aromatisse.
This is all Spanglish to me right now.
Okay.
Oh no, that would be the one that her mom would have. This one, right? Yeah. I'm like just picking out what her parents and siblings made Pokemon.
All right. So, you guys collect your Pokeballs and Pokemon. Is there anything else you would want to do tonight?
No, just and it doesn't have to be.
Sleep.
Javi,
Salve.
don't boop it.
Might be a little bit of camera shake because the dog is getting
wah, wah,
adventurous.
wah, wah.
Actually, it's not too
Uh,
bad.
It doesn't need to be acted out. I would just want to like sit with Ryulu and tell him what happened and like snuggle. Force him into a snuggle.
Jackson?
Actually, I am going to go make one swap real quick.
'Kay.
I'm going to swap out 2B
Mm-hmm.
for Billy.
'Kay.
But you don't have to change him over because I'll swap him out in the morning again. It's just to talk to Billy. And fill him in on what happened.
Okay.
Just to be like, I wish I had you there, bud. I'm sorry.
He listens very intently.
Woo woo.
And he claps his hands a few times.
And then I almost died.
You're not sure if he entirely understands the whole conversation, but he smiles and he seems very encouraging.
Thanks for listening, bud.
Sudowoodo, the cheerleader Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's already got like the pom-poms. All right. So you guys eventually head off to bed, finding yourselves your own little places. Brooke, if you did not want to sleep in the same space as White was currently located, there are plenty of other rooms with bunks. This is a fairly large Pokemon Center, and it's got lots of accommodations.
Why my shit got nothing? I was trying to open my one Brook thing to look at her backstory, and it wouldn't open at all. And now this won't. Opened that like 6 times, and it wouldn't show my shit. And I was like, ah!
Loading slowly.
Yeah, I was having that too, actually.
No, like one of my things just won't open at all.
Yeah, I had the same
Yeah.
thing for a bit,
Oh,
and then it decided to work for me.
I was gonna say they seem to open for me.
My Brooklyn Brooke Sawyer one that has my backstory won't open at all. Like at all.
Is that already open?
No.
Because I just opened it. It is definitely in your space. Anything specifically in there you wanted?
I was just gonna look at backstory stuff and add things, but no, I can't. I can't get in. It's fine. I'll do it later.
Okay. All right. Morning comes. What will the day bring you? I'd assume you guys probably meet in the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. I'm gonna put my health back up to its maximum.
Me too.
Cause
I have
it
1
was
hit point
fun.
less than Ryolu does.
I had 1 hit point
Just one.
for a long time.
I had like 16, but my max hit points is 49.
Jesus.
I have
My
more,
max is 19.
I have more hit points than some of my Pokemon. Than most of my Pokemon.
I don't have more hit points than any other Pokemon, including the ones that are only like level 3. Throat, cooperate. It's like,
I guess I need.
okay, Rasputin.
I did it one set.
It was at
It was at this moment. Melissa knew. She fucked up.
And loyalty plus 2 is 5 temporary hit points.
No, not 10 current hit points. 10 temporary.
So loyalty plus 3 is 10 temporary. Got to remember.
Temporary hit points, they go a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my Pokemon get temporary hit points, but they all get different temporary hit points.
Not all of mine do
Oh, so
right
it
now.
like stresses me out.
All right.
This Chimchar gets 7. But all my like plus 3 loyalty guys get 10. I'm ready to go. I'm just changing
Yep.
my
Mhm.
stuff. Okay, we can go. Just staring at me, making me uncomfortable.
I was just waiting for you to say something. As you guys are standing around in the lobby, preparing yourself, taking stock of the things that you have on your persons, you see Molly walk by. She's sort of fixing her bag at her side. She adjusts her beanie. She pats her pocket, presumably where her smokes are.
Molly had a
And-
beanie?
Molly has a beanie.
Oh.
And she... Need me to show you the picture
She's
of it?
always had a
No,
beanie.
everybody likes beanies. Steven likes beanies.
Yeah.
What?
The guy who always wears
She's
hats.
the only character with a beanie.
Oh, the other one has a beret.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
And she walks over and she says, "Hey, yeah,
Morning.
how are? Oh, you two. They look a little worse. What kind of trouble did you get into yesterday?"
Followed a slowpoke into the magma tubes underneath the
Nearly
lake and nearly
died.
died. I lost my shoes and then made new shoes out of a Badoo toy. I should specify that.
I mean that. Anyways,
I
Cool.
would have taken some time the night before, sorry, to also untangle that mess of twine
Oh,
and
okay.
hooks and stuff.
Give me just a general sleight of hand.
Oh, this is gonna go so well. I mean, that could have been worse actually, but I rolled average, but with the minus. It's only -2, so that's an 8.
You made it worse.
It brings
Probably.
back the memory of untangling string lights from your past for garden shows and such, and how much you used to hate untangling those wires, and every time made you wonder, why can't I just fold them and wrap them nicely when I put them away? But you never learned. Never in your 72 years. And here you are, untangling these bloody fishing hooks. And you get no further.
Okay. I'll finish it tomorrow.
Molly sees the rage in your eyes, and she says, okay, yeah, cool. Hey, so I need to pick up a little bit of cash. I grabbed a job off the board.
Nice.
Yeah, just some, like, casual construction work, you know.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, so, I mean, I gotta hit shift,
That's
so
fine.
you two aren't gonna get killed. Well, every time I
No.
turn, like, since I met you, this is like an every other day sort of thing.
I'm never
Yes.
gonna make that promise.
Oh.
Because it's been too close too many times for me. I'm going to try not to.
Too real, man. Fuck, like, just, okay, yeah, you do you. I got some moolah to make.
Yes.
Speaking
We'll
of,
see you later.
Yeah,
Okay, sounds
sure. You
good.
guys sticking around town for a little bit more?
I think another day.
Couple days until the Pokedex thingy
Yep.
is sorted out, and then we like really gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta start.
Cool.
Stop getting distracted and start going forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm gone. Ciao, guys.
All right. See you
See you,
later,
have a
Molly.
good day, Molly.
Waves.
Jackson, I have a weird question, and I don't know
Sure.
if you know the answer to it. Maybe it's something to ask Professor Large, but it's also really dark.
Sure. Maybe.
If something were to happen to us, who gets our Pokemon? And I like look at Liam, like,
I would assume Professor Larch, since he looks after them when we're not looking after them ourselves.
do I need a will?
Do I have a will? To be fair, he did kind of literally abandon his past life for this, so I don't know if he would have a will or if he would have just sold everything and left.
And like when we're done, are the Pokemon ours or are they Professor Larch's?
Probably have to ask her those questions. But I would assume they would be ours. When a Pokemon champion retires, do they retire with their Pokemon or do they just retire in general? And leave their Pokemon for whoever? Because that seems like a pretty traumatic thing to put a Pokemon you've bonded with through.
Yeah. I just don't want to be like, well, I'm heading home to Brava. Bye, Riolu.
No, I'd be taking Billy
I'm
with
not
me.
leaving you, Riolu, I promise.
It looks at you like,
Obviously.
never thought you were. Like,
Okay.
Well, thanks for putting that in my mind, Mom.
ooh.
I just got really worried when I was down there that I was like, if something were to happen to me, then if my Pokeballs were recovered, then like, who would they go to? Like, would my family get them? Would Professor Larch get them?
My assumption would be Professor Larch.
If something happened to you and I just had your Squirtle, like, what happens to the Squirtle? What happens to Billy in the box?
Mm.
That didn't worry you for like even a second?
No, I didn't think about it until just now, so.
Okay. I was like, what if I have to be responsible for Squirtle and like have to walk him back to Professor Larch because like Jackson doesn't have a will? And then I was like, he hates me? Like,
I don't think he hates you. You just got off on the wrong foot. Like,
it was a really
I don't
bad
think
way to start.
Maui ever hated me. I think that she was just defending herself.
That is true.
And she caused physical harm.
She did. She almost ate you.
Almost.
But
She went from
she
nearly
didn't.
killing me to saving me.
Yeah, it's been a huge progression. I forgot what I was saying there for a second.
This
I think
is
I'm
my
still
favorite
tired.
character arc. Well,
Let's see if we can find some trainers to fight.
perfect. Head to...
Walk around with a big
yeah.
sign on us that says, "We're looking for a fight."
Just looking for a fight.
Just head out and keep looking for other people who look like they're obviously Pokemon trainers.
Yeah.
And interrogate every one of them.
Want to fight? Want to fight? Want to fight? Want to
Hey,
fight?
punk.
You guys head out. The
Looking
streets
at me
are
like-
once again full with a number of people. You can hear the sound of construction down the street. You walk along, following traffic towards the Pokemon Gym. As you get near the front doors, you see one of the girls from the day before. You remember one of the girls, calling her Olivia, steps forward, and she says, "Wow, God. You know, Guy is a grass type leader, an expert, but he must be psychic too, because he said you guys were coming back."
We're actually wondering if there's any other trainers that would like to.
Guy
Fight with us
said
later.
that you are not allowed in the gym and that you need to take a day off.
Oh,
Oh,
Those are his words, not mine. Don't get mad at me.
no, not mad.
guess we gotta find our Pokemon fights in a back alley, Jackson.
I guess so.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's,
He's just trying to take care of us, I guess.
Yeah, he means well. You know, he's a big softie.
I noticed.
He's a good guy. It's not personal.
A couple other people walk by you and walk into the gym, and she waves to them, and the door's shut.
You guys want to battle? Oh.
She says, "Sorry,
It's
but
fine.
I mean, good luck. Enjoy your day off."
Thank you.
Days off usually get us in more trouble than they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, they do.
Good. It's fine.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Well, Jackson, looks like we got a day off to get in trouble.
I guess.
So,
We should go to the...
Pokemon,
Yeah.
Pokeballs and stuff, and
Yeah.
then
Even if we just wander into the woods and find some Pokemon.
exactly pick a fight in the nature.
Wander into the woods.
Wander into the woods and pick a fight.
Wander in the woods and pick a fight. How far is that? It's like a ways away. We couldn't go there.
Gonna go where?
Wherever Professor Larch wanted us to go, it would be too far.
Would it be too far?
I mean, she asked you to investigate along the western
Oh, yeah.
coast,
So it would be like
which I mean is a length.
here?
She didn't specify anywhere along it. She just said that along the bottom to western
so,
edge
like,
of the lake
here.
Yeah.
are algae specimens that she discovered within the belly of your basculum.
That would probably take a...
That's more of on the way.
Yeah.
And all of this is like grasslandy, right?
Yeah. So, and you would have seen driving in, although it was rainy and you're really just watching from a truck window, lush fields of grass and flowers everywhere along here. The only other forest you passed way back when, outside of Brambletown, that was the Wormhole Hollow. And then the larger wood that you never even came close to over on the edge of Mount Flag there.
Well, I mean, what we could do, Jackson, is we could attempt to, like, kill two birds with one stone and just, since most of this is grassland, we could just do a coastal lake grasslandy walkabout.
Sure. And see if we find any Pokemon.
If we find algae, we find algae. If we find Pokemon, we find Pokemon. If we find both, even better.
Sure. Make a quick trip to the Pokemon and then make our rounds.
Sounds good to me.
Oh.
To the Pokemart.
Okay. You guys wander down the street to your local Pokemart.
Mm-hmm.
Ding ding. Welcome to the Serene City Pokemart. Please enjoy your shopping experience.
Okay.
Says the overhead speaker. Is there anything you guys would like to purchase?
Pokeballs.
First off, can I sell my pearl here? Or is that not the best place to sell it?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Asking somebody if they purchase materials off of Pokemon trainers, and how much the going rate for a white pearl may be.
Sure. There's a little young lady behind the counter, and she smiles at you, and she says, "1 second." And she turns around, and she calls to an individual at the back. "Hey, Dev! Dev, you want to look at this?" And this much older gentleman, could be her father, steps out. Big bushy mustache, darker skin. He leans over and he pulls out a pair of glasses that were tucked in his breast pocket. And he holds out his hand towards you.
I hand him the pearl.
Okay. He sort of inspects it for a short second. He puts it down on the counter. He reaches under and he pulls out a small kit. He pulls out a pair of calipers and a small scale, and he starts weighing them, and he goes, Yep. He turns to the little girl and says, "All right, pair 1,400. And the little girl smiles, and she goes to the till, and she starts counting bills, and she hands you a number of coins and a couple
Deal.
bills.
Sold.
And the man disappears in the back, and she says, "Anything else?"
What do you have for Pokeballs here?
She directs you over to a counter. You see Pokeballs, 250 each. You also see Great Balls,
Yes, that's what I thought.
which are 500 each. You also see a selection of net balls. The net balls are made into this beautiful little display with a sign over top that says, "Great for water types and bug type Pokemon for the aspiring trainer."
How much are net balls?
The nipples are...
Erect. Because it's cold. It is winter. Or, well, I guess. Well, no, it's fucking fall.
800 Pokebucks each.
Okay. And how much is an antidote?
Antidotes are 200. They also have the typical regular assortment of
Potions and whatnot.
potions and assorted other things. Just whatever you're looking for. Let me know, and I will let you know if they have stock. Yeah, potions, antidotes, paralyzed heals are all 200. Revives are 3,000. Elixirs are 900. Ethers are 500. They also have an assortment of fresh water, sody pop, berry juice.
Potions are how much again?
200.
$200.
Okay, for starters, as I work this out.
Yeah, let you go first. Or, I don't know what I want. I'll just
Yeah,
get
no, you go first.
2 Great Balls and 4 Pokeballs.
Okay. Excellent. So that is a total of 2,000 Pokebucks.
2 Great Balls. 4.
So with Great Balls, just so you know, you add 5 to your roll.
Okay.
So that would be your D20 plus your Pokemon handling plus 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get. I know. Just 2 Great Balls.
Okay.
1 net ball.
Okay. So that's 1,800.
How much could you get for 160 Pokebucks? Or what could you get in the shop for less than 200?
Sure, there's some little knickknacks. There's also a few different brands of Poke Rations. Poke Rations are 20 gold per day.
20 gold.
The Pokeballs are 250.
Yes. Okay. So that's 2,300 so far. Mm-hmm.
1 antidote.
Okay. That's 2,500.
Splurge!
Brooke's like, money.
We'll hitchhike, fuck it.
200.
2 potions.
2 potions.
Most potions I've had in a really long time. I have 3. I've had 1 for like a really long time. This is exciting. So I have a burn heal, paralyze heal. I have an antidote. I'm trying to up all my. The thing gets in the way when I'm typing, and it becomes problematic. I'm trying to.
She's so excited. Brooke
I
is
haven't had this much money in forever.
She's
I am
throwing
rich.
things in her little shopping basket.
I haven't had this much money in a really long time. So that's what, 3,100 that I'm at?
Yep.
Yeah.
You were at 2,500 out of 3 potions.
Is there... What
Never.
other things could I purchase that are, like, condition thingies that I don't have? I have a burn, I paralyze, an antidote.
Yeah, so those are the big ones. You do see a small display. It's a little more colorful, but the rack is far less full. Not because it, not because they aren't a popular item by any means, but because they're definitely more expensive. You see what are known as full heals, which heal any status condition. Those are $450 each.
Can't afford it. I need something $200.
For $200, let me just go down the list as you browse. There's ice heals, which would heal a frozen Pokemon. There's an awakening, which would heal a sleeping Pokemon.
I'm going to get a awaken.
Okay.
That's 200.
Take the land.
Yep.
That must be taken.
Awaken.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Death clock.
I have 40 Pokebucks now. I is broke.
So for a day of rations, is that a day of rations for all of the Pokemon, or is that a day of rations for one Pokemon?
It's a day of rations for one.
For one, so... I have 160 Pokebucks, so I will get 8 rations, and that'll be enough for the 2 more days of food for everybody.
Okay.
Perfect. And that's all my money gone.
Yesterday.
That's harmony!
Random soundboard stuff.
Yep.
Love it.
Maybe I should have a laptop. Just so it's not constantly...
Gotta
we're
organize
buying
my
stuff.
inventory at some time. My inventory is just a clusterfuck of like stuff. And no rhyme or rhythm order to it.
You were rung up and given small paper bags and sent on your way.
Thank
The
you.
little girl
Thank
waves and says,
you.
"Come back."
This is the most money I've spent in forever because it's the most money I've had. So thanks.
We're feeling fancy.
And my broken up shirt.
Yeah.
I would say that I can't afford a shirt, and I had every intention of buying a fuck ton of stuff other than a shirt. Brooke would have used Jackson's Night Flash Night to just cut the other strip off, so she just has this weird mullety crop top-ish. Well, she would have cut the front down a bit, but yeah. She just looks
Gradually
more
getting
grunge.
less- yeah,
More
yeah.
grunge, less cute and more grunge.
Yeah, starting to look more like Molly by the day.
Uh-oh, bad influence.
Well, she was a bit of like grunge / fashionable, cute, punky before, and now she's just gradually getting more grunge.
She's going through her Nirvana phase.
Today it's fairly comfortable here in the city. You see a few people wandering around with umbrellas, more just worried about the threat of rain. It continues to be cloudy, but there's no wind. You haven't felt a drop, and it's warm. The air is just still.
All right, well, where do we want to go first for this search? Go along the lake and then come around?
Yeah, I think if we go along the southwestern edge, then we'll just little bit of
Walk for a couple hours that way,
coastal,
turn.
little
Walk a
bit
couple
of-
hours
yeah.
that way, turn.
little bit of coast, little bit of field.
Sure.
See what we find. Maybe More toe fishing.
We could do some more apparently noodling.
Noodling. I wouldn't want to catch a masculine noodling.
Yeah, no,
though.
that would have hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm thankful Squirtle apparently doesn't have much in terms of teeth.
Fair enough.
Didn't hurt when it chopped down on me.
Did it?
I mean, it didn't take damage. Wait, no, did I? I can't remember. I might have taken like 1 point. Just for posterity.
So, let's see
Sorry,
here.
upping my other stuff that I forgot to up because I forgot I have a Healy pool. Well, I didn't forget. I just forgot to up my Healy pool.
Just forgot to up your Healy pool.
When I level up, I forgot to change it from 30 to 35. Because I leveled up at the end of last episode because Meowth leveled up. They didn't tell the audience that there was levels up.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's Tubi and Rasputin also leveled up, which is nice.
Yeah, they leveled up too?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Rasputin's 6 now and Tubi's 4.
Nice.
So I'm hoping Tubi can get 1 more before we go back to that gym.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Axel can. And maybe Chimchar. Or both. Because that would be nice.
Yeah.
Because Axel's pretty close. He's, I think, like 2,000, just under 2,000 off. And Chimchar is, I think Chimchar might be still a ways, so he might not.
If I can keep being mean with Swift, I'll be happy.
No, Keegan is under 1,000, so it is possible that both of them could.
I should actually probably check and see when Tubi should level up.
5,000.
She's close.
Yeah.
A couple
Sorry,
good combats.
6,000.
Never
6,000.
mind. Well, still, maybe.
Because Keegan's at 5,000
Yeah.
something, and he's also level 4.
So it might be a hot minute till she levels up yet. But
Well, she just leveled up, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But if I hard focus her,
Hard focus.
the little gunky thing on your screen is bugging me.
Oh, it's like Steven's one laptop that got all the bugs in the in-between of the screen. Remember, Steven?
Oh,
You just
yeah.
saw like this movement under the screen, like in between the layers of the screen, and he went like this, and it like killed the bugs. And
That's
there's
horrifying.
There's just this weird, splotchy, dead bug patch in the middle of the two screens.
So we left it out after our wedding, and it stayed outside all night.
Is that what happened?
That was exactly what happened.
Yeah, because Steve was super sick, weren't you?
Yeah,
Wedding
Got a
night?
my
really bad
head was
migraine.
killing
Yeah, I was gonna
me.
say, I remember you guys leaving early,
Because he didn't eat.
and we kept the party going with karaoke.
Yes, you did.
Drunk karaoke.
Drunk karaoke that Danny started by singing Bust a Move.
So funny.
You want it?
And I still have that recording on
You
Facebook.
Yeah. You ready, Mr. DM?
Mr. Doom.
Just preparing some options here.
Yep.
Did you
He rolled on the random encounter table a few times.
Did you not prepare for this?
For random.
Yeah. I definitely told you that our intention was to go fight the gym again, and
of
then you
course.
locked us out of the gym.
No, I have.
Uh-huh,
I absolutely have things prepared.
Yeah, he's got random encounters prepared. It's just a matter of rolling and deciding which one is going to be. See?
Brooke woke up feeling
I
moderately
rolled
more
I rolled
dexterous.
all ones, so it's going to be the most difficult one. Arceus comes down and just says, nah, and wipes you from existence.
No.
As a god want to do every now and then.
Yeah, that's a great way to run a series.
Exactly.
Mhm.
End it.
Then I can play Blair.
Is she involved in some sort of witch project?
No.
Some might say.
But I believe I
You
did
better
have a
off
thing
without.
because she was like a herbalist
No,
slash
it's all brown.
chemist of some kind. All of my Pokemon were named after like herbs and plants and stuff. That's why I have like chamomile and nightshade and yeah. I miss Mama Chamomile. Most of the Pokemon that Blair had, I don't like super care as much. But the Ursaring definitely miss me some chamomile. Also polar opposite of Brooke. Brooke's like athlete. She's like nerd.
Yeah.
I also rolled really well with hers. So it was like 11, 11, 13, 14, 13, 12.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope if something happens to Jackson, I roll well for the next one. So I don't have to use con and strength and dex as a dumb stat.
Ugh. Feel that. I mean, if something happens to Brooke, I probably would Blair.
Yeah.
Just because she's already somewhat established-ish.
She's already canon.
She's already canon. Also, not canon character that I could play would be my... I'm sure I have her kicking around somewhere. I don't remember her name, though. What was the Pokemon trainer that I played with David when he played Soot?
I can't remember.
I named all my Pokemon with an E, an I-E or a Y at the end. It was like Ducky.
Sorry, did you say where exactly you were going?
Southwest.
Yeah, we were going along the south.
lake.
Well, yeah, we were going on the southwest side of the lake, and then eventually, after a couple of hours, we were going to detour and just start setting south. A couple hours after that, start heading east, and then a couple hours after that, head back north and just go back to town after like 8 hours.
Yeah, just a hike.
Okay, so
A
firstly,
big old roundabout.
Big ol' hike.
Firstly, if you guys are just looking for stuff, give me a perception check.
Just looking for trouble. It's not terrible. I'm gonna believe that that's a plus. So perception, we're looking at it's only a +1, so that's only 14.
12.
14 and a 12.
Yeah.
Did you use any rangery stuff?
Do I have any ranger stuff for that? I don't think I do. Yeah, let me double check though now that you've got me. Oh wait, I have a link copy paste. No, hang on. Because it's the Natural Explorer. I do have it. I think most of it is just not being able to get lost and stuff like that.
You had advantage.
I only have advantage on certain things, and it comes to, I think, specifically tracking.
Okay.
Natural Explorer, you are a master of the ignore difficult terrain, advantage on initiative rolls, first turn during combat, advantage on all attack rolls against creatures that have not yet acted. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. If you are engaged in other activity while traveling, you should still remain alert to danger.
But we have nothing specific to travel. So.
No. When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would, and then while tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area.
Can we look for berries as well?
Absolutely. Can
You
you
know,
guys
all
give
that
me
natural good stuff?
So
do us some forage?
yeah, as you guys are wandering through the field, there is a moment when you think that you spot something closer to the edge of the water, but as you progress closer, whatever it was definitely spotted you before you ever spotted it. You see a splash and it disappears somewhere into the lake. So you guys move off after an hour and you start walking through the grasses, leaving the city now decently far behind you.
Did we find any algae?
Did you find any algae? Not yet.
Okay.
Just watching the surface of the water, there's some general lake scum and stuff that is washed up. Nothing that seems particular or anything that draws your attention. Some driftwood that is washed ashore, some more sand and silt. What does catch your attention, though, is moving through the grass. It almost looks like a series of twigs in the taller-ish grass moving along. You see 8 in total, almost seeming to move in pairs that kind of go up like this. They're circular, almost in like a badminton racket sort of shape, with a few spines coming out, and something soft and glowing in the center of them. And they dip into the grass, and then they seem to appear in a different area, going back up.
Are they like flying?
They don't appear to be flying. They seem to be connected to something lower, like branches reaching out.
Do they
Pokedex.
appear to see us?
Right now, they're a fair distance away. Your Pokedex spins, but you're out of distance. They're maybe 120 feet away from you in the grasslands.
I'm gonna pop Keegan out as my active Pokemon for now.
And I'm going to pop out 2B as my active Pokemon for now.
Okay.
Do you want to try to sneak up a little bit?
But I'm gonna keep Ryolu out as with my buddy. Yeah, we can do a sneak.
Try to do a sneak just to get close enough to see what these things are.
Give me a stealth roll then.
Come
That is your
on, be
intention.
comically good.
With all my Pokemon that are out.
Yes, the more Pokemon you have out, the more that needs to sneak.
Well, mine was comically good.
Yours is always comically good. Okay, so
-2.
Chimchar is a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna start with 2B.
Ryolu it's a natural 1.
Oh no.
Brook is a 16. So Brook did good.
So-
My Pokemon are noisy as fuck.
2B is a 9,
Okay.
and Jackson rolled a natural 19, so it's a
Wow.
17.
Of all of the individuals in Pokemon moving through the grassland, mostly it's just a lot of and rustling grasses. To be like an Apache helicopter over top. The grass sort of blowing out of her way. You see 4 large heads attached to what appear to be antlers. Pull their heads up, look in your direction. The balls in the center of their antlers glow. You see big brown noses, each of them sniffing the air, their eyes looking frantically around. And then all 4 of them start to bound away.
How far away are they?
At this point, they're still easily 90 feet away, and they're moving much faster than you.
No!
And they
I
are
just
bounding off through the grassland.
pick up both of my guys and start to run.
Sure.
Sure, I'll start sprinting after 2.
Okay. Both of you give chase. If it wasn't for Jackson's natural aptitude in the grassland, you would have quickly been left behind. That being said,
I can track them.
you are still very steadily being left behind. They lead you on a bit of a trail, but they're moving far faster than you are. This is their home, and they are Pokemon that are adept at navigating this environment. They themselves are also fairly large Pokemon, each being... I'm trying to give you a comparison.
On a scale of pre-Sudowoodo Billy to Slowpoke.
So they stand about 1.5 meters tall. They look deer-like, though that doesn't mean anything to your characters.
Nope. Stantler.
They were brown with a big bulbous tail on the back
They
and
were,
a
'cause now they're
large
fucking
brown
gay.
nose. Light spots or dotting along their back. And they have easily made a getaway.
Well, we'll get the next ones.
We were never within 60 feet.
No.
Oh. That'd be suck at this.
Well, we're not the most quiet group.
I feel like I woke up feeling at least a little more like, quietier.
I never feel that way.
Well, maybe not quieter, but you ever feel those days where you're just like, I feel super like limbery today.
I'm 72.
That's a
Those
big
days
no.
are far behind me.
Fair point.
This has led you further out into the grassland than you possibly expected to go. And you turn and you angle backwards towards the lake itself.
Yeah, we also can't get lost because of me.
Correct.
Do we want to look for berries real quick
Yes.
while we're in Grasslandy?
He's looking for berries.
Yeah. Give me a survival check, both of you. Or whoever's looking.
I'm a licking. 14.
Ooh, survival. That's another good roll. 18 plus 22.
Wow.
Well, 18 plus 4, not 18 plus 22.
18 plus 22.
He's not a rogue or a bard.
Okay. All right, easy enough. There's actually a fairly large berry bush that you see growing over the edge of the lake. It's a part where the land comes up a couple feet and hangs over a little bit over the water itself. And you see a number of yellow-looking berries hanging from it. They're kind of bulbous with a number of different yellowy sort of bumps on it. And they hang from the green leaves of this bush.
Are they poisonous?
They are not.
How many can we scavenge?
Yes, can we pick some?
Let's see here. There are.
Jackson, why haven't we thought to scavenge for, berries in the past?
I don't know. We could probably do this instead of getting rations all the time, too, and save a little bit of money.
Yeah, and, just like,
The benefits of the berries.
yeah.
We didn't do a lot of thinking early on.
We sometimes don't
Yeah.
do that still.
Yeah, I really don't. I have a problem.
Maybe one more, near-death experience and we'll, finally smarten up.
We say that now. It's going to be a not very smart decision that leads to that near-death experience.
I mean, at least we can have a sense of humor about it, right?
Yeah. And horrify other people by our nonchalance with death.
I mean, if I lost it every single time that it nearly happened, I'd have to go home.
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, I mean, given what my parents do, it's just one of those things that, it's what my brothers do and my sister do and my dad does, all the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd be going home to just more of that.
Yeah. More of that and more of people being like, wait, you had this many near-death experiences and you came back? We've had way more in our lives.
All right, so these are what are known as chillin berries. Chilan.
Chillin' berries.
Are they chillin'? Or are they Chilean?
That's
I'll let that one play out because I made a pun.
How many can we get?
4 of them.
So 2 each?
Yep. Jackson, you would know that Pokemon that consume this berry will take half damage from a normal type attack.
Ooh. Just A or all?
Just one. So the idea would be is that if the Pokemon was holding it, they would consume the berry and then take half damage from the attack, or you would feed it to them and the next attack they would take half.
The next normal type.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. As you are gathering berries, the bush shakes slightly. You go to pull at one of the berries, a 5th one, in your hand, and it feels different than the others.
It's not a berry.
It is textured. Your hand touches what feels like downy feathers, the wet. And you try to pull away, and you just hear.
That's not a berry.
There's a bit of a shake in the bushes, and the yellow surface that you had touched disappears within the bush itself.
Going after it.
Okay.
Okay, you dive in through the bush, and you see a small figure sliding out the bottom side of the bush and trying to slip into the lake beneath it.
Gonna try to grab it.
Chimchar! Do an ember!
Okay, Jackson, give me a dexterity save, and Brooke, roll an attack. And this is probably a good time to roll initiative.
Why am I rolling so well for the things that he shouldn't be good at? Dex save?
Do you want me to roll initiative
16.
first, Steven, or the attack first? Because it wouldn't
roll
be.
the attack first.
But it wouldn't be a surprise attack.
Yeah. Okay, roll initiative first.
Okay.
$23 for my initiative.
What?
8.
I
For
took
my initiative.
alert.
Even with advantage, 8. But a 16 for my dex save.
Okay, Brooke.
What? I'm probably going back to work out.
Okay, your little chimp Pokemon looks down at it and goes,
Wait. I could maybe miss.
reaches behind its back to grab a fistful of embers.
11?
11. 11 doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Hits the water and kind of goes out. He jumps in the air.
It's okay.
The Pokemon splashes down into the water, but its little footsies kind of splash a little bit. It can't sink totally below because its head is currently caught by the hand of Jackson, and it's reaching up going. Jackson, it is going to try to scratch you because you're holding on to it.
Of course. Remember what we just said about dumb decisions? I'm gonna grab a wild
This is when
Pokemon.
the guy that follows us is like, why you not use Pokemon?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to be a 18 to hit you.
Yeah, it hits. By 10.
What he doesn't know is some of the times
and
when I
you
choose not to
take-
use Pokemon, it's because I'm literally better at it than my Pokemon.
Yeah.
You
This
take
is not the case here.
6 points of normal type damage as it makes a solid scratch. You wouldn't figure it, but its little wing-like arms have sharp claws on the end, and they cut into your flesh
Ah!
as you hold on to it. But it is not moving. Jackson.
This is gonna be real dumb, but I'm gonna try to yeet it back at towards Brooke. Just pick it up and throw it.
Give me
Throws it
either...
5 feet more
That's
into
going to
the
be a
water.
straight strength.
Yeah.
Give me a strength.
7. I hope it rolled really low. For the sake of hilarity.
You go to pull it up, and you get your elbow almost to the edge of the bush, but its small webbed feet manage to grab hold of some of the tougher branches beneath it and holds on tight. So you've half yanked it out of this bush now, out of the water, and it's holding on. Its little clawed hands trying to grab at your hand on top of its head, its feet holding onto the branches below it, and the whole bush just shaking.
Okay.
Brooke.
I suspect that being that it wants to go into the water, that Chimchar, you're probably not the best for this. And I'm going to swap to Electric, but I'm going to throw Electric Pokeball right to, like, the lake.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are all sort of over top of this bush at the moment.
Yeah.
As the small electric dog Pokemon appears. Seems very excited by all of this excitement going on. This Pokemon is looking around at all of you. Is going to flail. Brooke, it looks over at you and your eyes meet, and you feel this dull
What I do?
throb on the inside of your head.
Ah! Bad headache. Bad headache.
Does a... Yeah, that's another, like, 19?
Yes.
Yeah.
My AC is 8.
The same as mine.
You take 7 points of psychic type damage.
Come on, man.
Brain
That hurt my
freeze.
head.
And you are considered confused.
Oh god, how does that work? Rude.
For Brooke, just about nothing, because she doesn't use moves.
But does her commanding a Pokemon count as a move?
No, because it doesn't say anything about taking
Okay.
action, but
Oh,
you
fair.
cannot take a reaction. You move at half speed. But yeah.
It just feels like when you got really bad migraine, it's like you're a little fuzzy.
You'll be confused for a turn. Jackson.
I feel like I made a mistake here, Tubi, so could you come down and just give it a boop? And just gonna use a tackle.
Okay. Flying down from the air for a tackle.
Flanking with Angus if she can. Sure. So we got
You guys are all sort of clustered around this Pokemon, beating
Yeah.
it up at the moment.
So that, oh god, thank god for advantage, because that was either a natural 1 or a 19.
19 hits.
Perfect. What damage does this tackle do right now? 1d6, because it's still on level 4. Oh. I'm gonna roll the fucking lowest damage, which I believe plus strength is 2 points of normal type damage.
Just kind of bounces off the side. The blubber of this Pokemon sort of shakes a little bit. It doesn't seem terribly happy about it, but it didn't take a lot of damage from that.
Yeah.
Brooke.
Okay, Axel, let's give him a couple of pow. Can you tackle him?
He goes and lays its shoulder into the side of this Pokemon.
Advantage. Flanking. Really?
Yeah. It's not gonna hit. I rolled the natural 1, and then I rolled the natural 2.
Okay.
That's
I thought you rolled 2 nat ones, and I was like, oh no.
That's what the.
Jackson, what's your AC again? And
Okay, that's fine. Give a quick attack. It's not advantage, but if I swear if I roll a 4.
Roll in the tray.
Okay, I rolled a 1, then I rolled a 2, then I rolled a 3, and then I rolled a 16. So
16.
it's 16 plus my stuff. So
Yeah, Axel's in a good position to hit this Pokemon. However, given the state that it's currently in, he seems to just be bouncing and bouncing off the side of the bush,
Bouncing off
not
the-
catching a whole lot of Pokemon.
6 points of normal type damage.
Okay. Okay. This Pokemon
It's
looks
so
around at
squishy.
everything that is sort of circling around it. It looks up at your flying Pokemon, figuring that's probably the biggest problem at the moment. And its cheeks inflate, and
Come at me,
its
bitch.
little lips purse, and it goes... and it shoots a spray of water at it.
so I'd go. Brr.
And that's going to be a 14.
Yeah, that hits. Damn.
And he takes 3 points of water type damage. Sprayed with a bit of water.
Child spray.
Jackson.
Yeah, you boop it again. And another tackle. Hi. Modified 20.
Hits.
That's fucking 2 nat ones I've rolled. Thank God for advantage. Hey, there we go. 6 points of normal type damage.
Okay.
I rolled not minimum. My d20s have been okay. My damage had not been.
Do you think I could perhaps use your dice tray? No, for
Yeah.
better luck. Okay.
I shall put it. I Actually, it's probably going to be better for both of us if I just have it there, too.
Like here.
Another good hit.
Thanks.
Your Pokemon are each landing solid blows
The
to this
hopes for-
Pokemon and wearing it down. It's looking a little bit more hurt as it looks around and it looks back towards the lake where it tried to escape to in the first place. Brooke.
Okie dokie. Okay, let's
Okie ducky.
let's try this again. Couple more pop. So the tackle is at least it's consistent. That
Two
is
tens.
a 20. I mean not 20. Woo, that's some crazy math. That's a 15.
15 hits.
Okay, and then that's a.
This.
I mean I'm keeping it. 11 points of normal type.
Oh. Okay.
How's it looking?
It's
Before he
looking
does
really
his-
rough. That last hit lings right into the side of it. Goes. It struggles even more furiously, but you can tell it's in a bit of a panic.
I want to do the second pop.
The Pokemon's going to try to break your grasp.
Sure.
Give me a contested either acrobatics or athletics.
It doesn't matter. Nat 20.
What does that equal?
With acrobatics, it would be an 18. 18.
I rolled a 17 plus 1. So technically it breaks your hold.
Mhm.
It hits the water, but just barely. Like you flail to grab back onto this Pokemon.
Damn.
Falls out
Linus
beneath
did
you
you
through the
dirty.
bush and hits the water. And you hear a large splash, and it starts to paddle away. It is currently about 25 feet away. You guys can take attack of opportunities if you wanted to.
Nah.
That's it.
I'll leave this one for you, Brooke. And just going to hold.
Okay,
Not do anything.
Brooke.
Look at that! I'm gonna use a netball.
Okay,
What do I
you
do
pull
with
out the
it?
netball. It is
Plus
going to
5?
be a plus.
What did
Netball
this
is plus
help?
10
Oh,
Plus
wow.
10?
against bug or water types.
So 14 plus. Whatever your
17.
17. You cast the
I rolled
ball
really poorly.
a little less straight and true than you would have hoped for. It sails through the air and it catches a slight breeze, landing on its intended target. The Pokemon disappears inside a bright red light, and the ball shakes for a few moments, and a few moments more. It shakes furiously, as panicked as the Pokemon was in Jackson's
Oh.
grasp, trying to get away,
I made an assumption.
until it finally comes to a stop.
If it hadn't have been for that plus 10,
Yep.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, that's why they're so expensive.
Thanks, Jackson. You got
No
another
problem.
Water type Pokemon.
Yeah, I figured I'd been getting not a monopoly on the water types, but you know, most of them.
Thank you.
The
No
Pokeball
problem.
sinks beneath the surface of the water for but a moment before coming back to the top.
Good job, Axel.
You too, Tubi?
He stands at the edge of the water and just barks at the Pokeball now floating a couple feet outwards. 2B flies around your head and lands on your back.
I guess I'm gonna go get my Pokeball. Dive in the water.
Okay. You dive in and wade a few feet out.
Hell yeah.
I used to like hate Psyduck, but I will admit that Detective Pikachu made me
Love
love
Psyduck. Yeah.
As you pick up the Pokeball, wet, it feels warm to your touch. What Pokemon do you want to keep in your party?
I'm gonna send Psyduck back to the box for now.
I wanna be the very
Psyduck is a
Catching
boy, like so
Psyduck.
many of my Pokemon.
Is he grumpy?
He's careful.
Ooh. Not so careful they didn't get fucking caught, though.
I just wanted some berries.
It was literally just trying to exist, and then you
And
guys
then
came
grabbed
along.
his booty.
I copped a feel accidentally, and he didn't appreciate it. Understandably so.
You bad touched him.
I Bill Cosby'd him for a second.
Okay, Axel. Back in the Pokeball, bud. Yeah. Too many Pokemon out causes for
Too
too
many
difficult
Pokemon.
tracking.
Too many Pokemon.
And I'll call back Keegan as well.
Okay.
For now.
A soft wind blows west east. You smell something fishy on the air. The lake stretches out before you, the field behind you. The gentle flowers floating on the breeze. Their petals dancing amongst the leaf blades. Blades of leaf of grass.
Blades of leaf of grass. You could tell it's a Monday.
It's
Keep going along the route that we had planned, I suppose.
I'm looking for
Let's see if we can
a name for my
find anything more.
Mhm.
Okay. Give me another perception check.
Hiya.
Oh no,
No.
not as good.
That's a 4.
Oh, just a 9.
Wow.
Sorry, I mean a 6, because I forgot I don't have a plus, but I added a plus. That was my Pokemon handling for some reason.
It's going on about 11 o'clock as you guys wander through the fields and then slowly back in towards the water again, searching for any signs of Pokemon. There's a couple points in time, Jackson, where you come across the tracks of the other deer-like Pokemon that you had chased previously. You being able to keep general tabs on their location, but you haven't caught sight of them again. The water is, again, still... can you give me a nature check, Jackson?
Sure. I'm very good at these. Oh, but I rolled poorly. But that's still a +8, so 13.
Wow. Heading back towards the water, you guys head along the beach for a little bit, kicking some of the dirt and general silt here. Being a ways outside of Serene City at this point in time, you've far gone off of what would be the touristy sort of location. No more imported white silt sands. Here it is primarily that dirty, sooty sort of sand.
Yeah.
You do feel a crunch under your feet, and you watch and see a little bit of green wash up on shore. And you acknowledge an LJ that seems to be similar to that Professor Larch had noted earlier.
Oh,
Well, look at that. We found some of that algae, it looks like.
do you still have those bottles?
I believe I do. I'll fish through my bag and see if I still have those empty potion bottles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, start scooping some algae in.
Sure.
I will assist.
Slicking kind of slimy as it leaves the water surface.
Ew.
Goes in.
I just gotta mark these ones with a little X so I know not to just
Yeah,
pop those on a Pokemon.
that would be.
The algae itself is distinct, not so much in color. It is green like most other algae that you are familiar with, but it seems to have a bubble-like structure in such a way that as you walk down the beach, anywhere that it's washed up, it sounds as if you're walking across bubble wrap.
Very satisfying beach.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
dries, and as you break the bubbles themselves, they pop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to look for a name for my duck. Sorry.
Quacking.
You continue down the beach, enjoying the sound of the crackling
Howard.
underneath your feet. In the distance, further off to the west, you see a building coming off the lake.
A building coming off the lake?
Like,
Like half on, half off.
okay, like a beach house.
Not a house. As you're getting closer to it, it appears more industrial.
Does it look occupied? Are there people?
Give me a perception check.
Is it pumping shit into the lake? Is it like a permanent structure?
What the fuck is with my Okay, these were
appears
rolling
to be.
well before. That's a 3.
So it's a more
Hard to
permanent
say.
structure? Like someone didn't It's not some weird pop-up structure.
No, it looks permanent. Like from here, you can already see that it has a dock-like structure as it goes over the water for a
There's
good
a Pokedonald's truck
60,
parked outside.
70 feet, with stilts or posts that hold it from falling in the water itself.
Well, that...
You do see a few vehicles parked outside of it.
I don't want to be suspicious or anything, but like that's not a house and it's a more industrial building randomly out here on the lake. Seems like a permanent structure. Like, what do you think that would be used for?
Could be just for power, like a water wheel or something.
Maybe.
We just can't see on the other side. I don't know. Do you want to go check it out?
Yeah, why not?
Sure. We said we wouldn't get distracted, but we have time today, and we can find more Pokemon on the way back.
Exactly.
Go towards the structure.
Okay. You guys continue to wander down the beach, heading further and further, closer and closer to this structure. It looms over top of you. It seems to only be a single story tall. You see little windows that are boarded up along the top, maybe 10 feet up. On one side seem to be large cargo doors. On the side that you're approaching, a couple small man doors.
Go up and knock.
Okay. You walk up to the door and you knock. Kong, 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 kong. Inside, you hear the sound of something mechanical moving. The sound of a number of muffled voices, but nothing comes to the door.
Weird.
Well,
might as well keep going.
yeah, might as well just head back.
What's
Well,
the...
not head back, but keep
But,
going
you know,
the route that we were doing before.
Exactly. Any weird cars?
Looking around the side of the building, there are currently 3 vans that are all parked there. Each appears to be some sort of cargo van of sorts. White.
Are there logos on any of them?
No,
Are they Pokedonald?
absolutely not.
Brooke is secretly writing a mystery. No, that's my next character. It's gonna be a conspiracy theorist.
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding. But am I? Gonna be nosy. I'm gonna walk past the cars and look and see if there's any.
Okay.
Like paperwork.
Inside the vans.
I'm not going in the van. I'm looking in the windows of the cars.
Just give me an investigation check then.
Nope.
That's how I've been rolling.
Yeah,
This is how I always roll.
You poke your head up and you kind of look around. You see a driver's seat. These vans appear to be, I don't know, newerish. Haven't seen a lot of wear. You take a look and you're like, maybe it's been detailed recently, but smell kind of fishy.
They smell fishy.
Yeah, like fish or water.
Like literal fishy.
Literal fish.
Yeah.
Jackson, I know this sounds crazy, but what if it's
This
all
is where they make
Pokedonald's
those
like
fish
we
fillets?
said? Yeah.
I'm glad our minds went to the same place.
I'm glad that you entertained my weird, like, mystery suspicions.
Do you want to go and look? Is there a window? Are there windows?
There's a number of
What is
windows.
that
They're
like?
fairly tall or fairly high up, so you'd have to find a way to get yourself up there. Like the ones that are lowest are about 10, but they kind of line the top of the building.
What if Toby left?
They're about 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall, 10 feet up.
But I don't know if Tubi understands what this is what we'd be asking her to look for. The one thing I've noticed having conversations with Pokemon, they have a very limited scope. You could hold me on your shoulders? Or I could hold you on
Sure.
my shoulders.
There a less obvious window?
A less
We get so
obvious window.
Yeah. Especially going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. My next character will be a conspiracy theorist. Sure, she's not already.
I've decided that Brooke likes mystery novels. What if it's a mystery, Jackson?
The Hardley boys.
Each of the windows seems to be pretty much identical. Some of them seem to be boarded up, less so because they're trying to be covered, but more because you can see broken glass behind them. Yeah, none more specifically.
Go to one of the nicer ones then. That's not broken.
Okay, you can go up to it.
I lift Jackson up.
Okay, takes a little bit, but the old man
How tall is
comes
Brooke?
up and over.
5 foot something.
Okay, Jackson's also 5 foot something, so
Like 5'6" or something.
yeah. So if the windows are 10
5'5"
feet,
maybe.
he should have his head up there. Or windows are 10 feet, he should have his head up there.
You peer over the edge and you see a fairly active scene. It looks warehousey in a sense, but the floor in a lot of the area is replaced with open water with various scaffolding that travels over top of it. You see a couple splashes and splishes in the middle of the water, and you see a basculin jump up and land back downwards. There's a number of barrels and various crates that are located around. You see a mechanical device move along the ceiling, and a claw reach down into the water.
No.
It's spread out, fingers-like, with nets between each one of the clawed fingers.
We're totally
Disappear
right.
under the
We're
water,
totally right.
close, and then come back up. You see a number of basculin caught in its claws, each one of them flipping. It moves along the way.
I'm taking out my Pokedex. I'm starting to take pictures.
Okay. You see,
Documenting.
We're starting.
Hopefully there's no flash. Turn the flash off. Turn the flash off.
you see a number of people
Detectives.
Oh god.
in white jackets inside this building, and they are watching it. One of them follows the direction of this crane sort of mechanism with what appears to be the controller to it over to a large open crate. As the crane gets closer, it comes down and drops the basculin inside this crate. He motions to a couple others who bring a large lid fitted over top, and they start securing the top of this crate. Another one pulls out a pallet jack, lifts it up, and starts to lead it away.
Jackson, what do you see?
You see a fairly large man, bald, with a leather sort of vest on, motion for them to bring the jack over. He bangs on the top of it, says a couple words to the individuals, and points over to another stack of crates, and they start moving it over there.
It's totally Pokedonald's, right? They're making real fish burgers.
Hang on, I haven't seen everything yet.
Give me a stealth check.
Oh yeah. I need to know his whammies. The biggest whammy.
As Brooke is calling up to you, you're like, hold on, I haven't seen anything yet. You
Turn
turn,
the
to
flash
face
on.
it, and you just like, boom, hit your head against the glass. You're like, oh! You're back a little bit, and you see a number of heads sort of swivel to look in your direction. At the moment, it appears that everybody inside the building sees you.
It was literally
up top there.
perfect.
Oh, where's that shit?
You hear some sort of screaming from inside, yelling, more likely, angry, and a flurry of movement.
Fuck, let's run.
Oh, they're coming our way.
You see a number of people spreading out, a few people running towards the door. You also see that large balding man move towards another door, and 2 other individuals run out that you'd recognize. One is a girl about Brooke's age. She has blonde hair that comes down to about her shoulders, a crop top. She's got a bit of attitude. Beside her,
Is it the fucking couple?
boyfriend,
Brad.
balding. He's got a leather jacket on, bad temper. You remember running into them a few times in Brambletown.
He's balding?
Not balding, but bald. Shaved
Oh,
head.
I was like, he's a kid.
The larger bald man seems to be sharing some angry words with them, and they seem to be a little bit embarrassed, and then he points in the direction where you guys are, and they both nod and look up at you, and they seem a little bit surprised.
I wave before saying, "We've been found."
Shit, let's run. Put Jackson down. Put him down. And I'm like, let's go.
Okay, you guys turn and you move to run, and from behind you, you hear I need all of you to give me a dexterity save.
Me and Railu.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh,
And
be the
Jackson
And then me to be.
whoever else.
Not too bad.
A dexterity
You said
save?
dex?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Jesus. Okay.
As in
got
good?
Yeah.
Brooke got a 16,
That's a 17 for Jackson.
and
a
Railu
natural
got
19.
a 16.
And 2B has a 19.
Holy crap.
Oh, sorry.
17 and 19.
Railu got a 19 because of loyalty.
Okay. As you guys turn
Oh,
around,
modify 20 because of
you
loyalty.
see what appears to be a smaller contraption to the claw machine that reach downwards fly towards you. You all dive off to the side as it catches air,
Like, grab Liam and barrel roll.
landing on the ground and starts to retract.
Run, 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 run!
I don't like it. Bad touch.
And you guys continue to run. You hear the sound of a vehicle starting behind you, and then a vehicle starting to drive up behind you.
But it's totally Pokemon, right?
I don't know, but the 2 assholes were there from Brambletown, the couple.
Oh, the ones like that we really made fun of and we hated.
Yep, the ones
Oh,
who were
cool.
trying to stop, who were trying to catch the X-Cloud.
Guys are like running. Liam's looking behind you and he's shaking his fist like.
Is there any trees or anything in this area, or is it pretty just open?
No, it is just
Field or
bare.
water. The car is barreling after us.
There is one van that is coming after you.
How far away is it?
You see, right now it's probably the better part of 100 and something feet away.
I mean, they won't follow us into the lake, right?
Probably not, but I also have an idea.
Oh, okay.
Once it gets within 100 feet, 2B, swift the tires.
We need better music for this.
This is some classic bullshit.
This music. Okay, you guys are taking off through the field, just whipping through the tall grass. Water on one side of you, open field on the other. Behind you, this fish factory
May I
farm.
make an inquiry?
Mm.
So Force Palm is a fighting type move, but technically it paralyzes, so to some extent you could argue that there's some kind of shock behind it.
Sure, yeah.
Is it possible that a carefully placed Force Palm could get through to fry the engine?
It could also paralyze, though. You can make the argument that it could paralyze because of where it hits, more specifically for a fighting type move than an electric thing.
That's true.
Because
Yeah, it's
paralysis
not
isn't
electrical.
necessarily.
That's
That's
true.
what you're going for.
Okay. Probably not enough to fry an engine, damage a grill.
You guys are taking off, whipping through the field. 2B flying over top of you.
I'd probably be carrying 2B because I can run faster than she can fly.
Okay. In your arms, then, this large bug-type Pokemon and its googly eyes keep looking over your shoulder backwards towards this car that is very quickly gaining ground on you. Turning your head, you can see the large bald man in the driver's seat. Out one window is the young woman who is yelling at both of you. Thought we couldn't catch you, huh? We're on our way! And then the side door opens, and you see the guy lean out and shake his fist at both of you. As they come within range, 2B lets loose a flourish of stars.
While we're running, I would like to pop out Axel into my arms.
Okay.
And hold him over my shoulder and be like, if for some reason 2B's attack doesn't work, can you attempt to like, I don't know, like fry the engine through the grill? Thunder wave.
He kind of looks at you and just...
That big metal thing.
He doesn't really know what's going on. You holding him in your arms, him
Like,
sort of flopping
this way over
arms like this.
shoulders. I'm throwing him over my shoulder like this.
Yeah.
Roll some damage.
Perfect. What kind of car is this?
A GMC.
No, I don't mean like specific. I mean like SUV, car, van.
It's a van.
'Kay.
Think of like the delivery vans from Sobeys.
Okay, we're gonna go for front driver's side tire.
'Kay.
Because this is probably front wheel drive, and that's 2 normal type damage.
That's it?
Yeah, I rolled minimum.
Okay. Direct hits. You see the entirety of the car sort of go and shift a little bit, but it keeps heading towards you straight and true.
Do it again when you can, Doobie.
When it's 60 feet away, the whole time I'm like, okay, you see the front? How there's like a big angry mouth of the car. Ah! Like thunder wave on that thing. See if we can get through to the engine.
He's. This van is catching up on you very quickly. It moves 80 feet and around, moves directly up behind you. You guys only have about 20 feet on it at this point in time. Electrike very excitedly shoots forth a wave of electricity.
Where's the car? Not the people.
Yeah. The car just dissipates this electrical burst in place as it continues running towards you. The woman pulls out a Pokeball from her side. The driver lays on the brakes, and you hear it go, and it just slides through the grass almost sideways. The side of the car turning towards you, you see the other individual standing with the sliding door open, pulling a Pokeball from his belt. You guys make it maybe another 50 feet away before all 3 of the individuals are outside of the van holding Pokeballs and yelling at you.
They have Pokemon? Out?
You see the large balding man throw a Pokeball. Out pops what appears to be this large cat-like Pokemon. It is largely white fur covered, very fluffy, stands almost as tall as he is, with a jagged red stripe that goes down its front.
Not a sassy.
It's got these massive 2 sets of claws on either side, and it goes as it hisses in your direction, and
Sneasel?
no.
Oh,
This
it's
large
white.
man says, "You, stop. You've seen too much. Come back and give yourselves up."
I'm good, thank you.
Megas! And keep running.
Yeah.
And swip the tires again.
Okay. None of them are inside. He motions to the other 2, and he says, "You two, earn your pay." And they say, yeah, okay." And they take off running towards you. One of them throws the Pokeball in front of him, and you see a large, dark-colored, larger dog-like Pokemon running behind her that goes. The other one, he throws his Pokeball, and you see the familiar Houndour running beside him, little embers trailing out from the side of his
Familiar
muzzle.
Houndour, like.
No, Houndoom is the big one that we
Okay,
fought
I was like, huh.
Houndour, because it was one of his that we fought before.
Yeah. Your Lady Paw shoots off another torrent of stars towards the tires.
Same tire.
Roll some damage.
Oh. You're good, but I'm going to roll back in here. To be honest. Fucking 2 damage again.
2 damage. You know that it hits straight and true, but those stars aren't doing much to the hard rubber tires of this moving vehicle.
Initiative?
Not yet. The larger balding man rolls his eyes a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, all right. Go, Zangus." and the other Pokemon
Zangoose.
takes off through the grass after you. At this point in time, you have 3 individuals making their way through the grass towards you. 3 different Pokemon moving towards you. The Zangoose itself moving at an extraordinary speed, looking to be overtaking the other individuals already. Its claws at its side, it hissing the whole way.
I don't like it.
But I think that's where we should end this one. Okay.
Sure. So he has time to prepare a map, if he doesn't already have it prepared.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I said if. I gave you the if.
I suppose I should also note, as you keep looking over your shoulder as these 3 individuals approach you, you see 2 other white vans peeling off from the building.
Yeah. We don't happen to recognize that other bald dude, do we?
No, you have not seen him.
'Kay.
You recognize the 2 individuals as the
Yep.
punks that you have encountered numerous times.
Little shits.
But
Well,
sorry about that. My throat's given out.
it's fine. I get that completely.
Well, that's all, folks.
But that's all, folks.
Love how we got kicked out of the gym so that we could have a day off.
And then we just go snooping.
And we pick a fight with the mob.
With the mob.
Sounds like a us thing to do.
Beauty. Well, thank you for anybody who tuned in. Thank you
Yes.
to anybody who tunes in the future. Remember, let us know how
Yes.
you found this, why the heck you're listening to us at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And we appreciate any kind words or, I suppose, unkind words that you have to say to us.
Critical words.
Critical
I
words.
prefer kind words.
We all prefer kind
Yeah.
words in these trying times. Kind
Although
words.
I mostly
what?
just laugh off the bad words. I am like a duck.
I'm less of a duck. I prefer kind words.
Yeah. So thank you to Joe the DM on Twitter for this wonderful homebrew that we've been playing for
Yes.
30 episodes now. Episode 31 next. You can find out more about that at Pokemon5e.com. Thank you to the Lighter Arts for the player tokens, which we didn't use this time, but we will for sure next time.
Yeah.
Thank you to Kevin McLeod for the Pokemon soundtrack, I guess. It's what you're listening to right now.
Yep.
Find out more about him at incompetech.com. You've heard his music everywhere. Thank you to Mikkel_Beats for the Pokey and Chill soundtrack. Still an amazing job on that, and
Hell
we appreciate
yes.
it very much. Anybody else?
No, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Doom if you want to tune in. Doom Eternal.
Impending.
The Eternal kind, even.
Friday for more Witcher content.
Yeah.
And I guess back here for more PD&D on November 2nd.
Yes.
Lovely.
How is it almost November?
Yeah, I know. I agree.
I told somebody to wake me up when September ends. Yeah.
I love how Billy Joe Armstrong told people not to make that joke because he doesn't understand how the internet works. You can't tell them to not do something. They will just do it more, even if you have a good reason to not want people to make that joke. But anyways.